Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. You guys ready for the Marteezy Bros of the worlds? Okay, here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. Action. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm joined here with MarteezyBro. Dude, last minute. But dude, how you doing, MarteezyBro?
I'm doing good. Just
Good, good.
chilling for the night.
Good. Everyone seems to be chilling for the night and the whole damn planet. But anyway, I'm Julian Janganu. Welcome to the 23rd episode of the Battlefield Show, the only Battlefield talk show on Twitch. I just want to first point out that I expected to have Shino Kara, one of my dear friends of mine, to come on, talk about some Battlefield and life and all this other stuff that's going on in the world. But he has fallen ill and cannot join us at this time, and we'll try to reschedule him when he is better. Okay, so please, if you can, go check out his streams, go check out his Twitter, and just send your love and your hearts to him. Please, he's a really good man and has been a good friend of mine for the past 2 years. So that'll be great if you can do that. Oh my God, Brother Steve is here. Thank you, Brother Steve, for the host. What is up?
But yeah, guys, send some love to Shino. He's not
Yeah.
here right now, but send him some love.
Yeah, send him some love. He's a good dude. Well, good morning, Brother Steve and Elusive. Thanks for hanging out. How's it going, guys? Okay,
Yeah, so you just woke up now?
I know, he has a crazy schedule, I'm sure.
Yeah. I thought my brother had the worst.
I know, right? Damn. Okay, Marteezy, again, thank you so much for coming so last minute. I'm glad you're here, and there's a lot to discuss when it comes to Battlefield. But there's not a whole lot to discuss about Battlefield 5 right now. There's really not a whole bunch of things going on for this game. And the whole point of the show is to try to keep it afloat and to keep talk going, but it's getting more and more difficult. Maybe this is why previous shows don't talk about Battlefield anymore. So, but we're still here. We're going to keep doing this until the game is deleted or like somehow gone. I don't know if that will ever happen, but I'm here. Marteezy's here to talk. So Marteezy, let's just start off with your Battlefield history. What was your first Battlefield game?
My first Battlefield I played, and I never played the Battlefield games on PC, but my
That's
first
right.
Battlefield was on Xbox 360, the first Bad Company. That was technically my first Battlefield, but I played that for the single player because we all know Bad Company has been the best in terms of single player. So, but
lucky that I did not get the chance to do that because I was
yeah,
never had a
because they never
console.
brought Bad Company 1 or 1943 to PC, so you PC players never got to enjoy that spectacle.
They did release 1943 on PC, but much later, and it was very like derpy and interesting. But they did release it. It was very short lived because another Battlefield was coming up over the horizon. But yeah, you had the beginning of the Frostbite engine. Man,
Yep.
what that must have been. You did miss a lot though beforehand, but it was totally different once they had that because of all the destruction mechanics.
Yeah, back then you guys had your fracture engine from Battlefield 1942 to all the way to Battlefield 2.
That's right. Yeah, it was a different experience how everything was built. And then like what was like the first thing you noticed that was like, dude, Battlefield is the shit. Like in Bad Company, what was the thing that stood out the most?
The first thing that got me was the destructibility. Like blowing shit up, like taking out this dumbass sniper, like trying to like snipe you from in a building, a second floor.
Yeah.
No worries, you can use your grenade launcher or rocket launcher to blow his ass up.
Yeah, dude. There's a bunch of cool. The RPG was in Bad Company 1, right?
Yeah, it was, and a variety of rocket launchers as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember because I've only seen videos and clips of some of the vast open maps were kind of interesting. The one thing that jumped out to me, I don't know, maybe it did to you for Bad Company 2, was the sound when it comes to, like, let's say a bomb hits you like really close and you have that ringing concussion sound. You know what I'm saying?
Shell shock.
Yeah, shell shock. That was in Bad Company 1, right?
Yeah, it was also in Back Only One for like a couple seconds, and still retains in Back Company 2.
That's what stood out to me the most. Was not, I mean, destructibility is a huge thing while playing, of course, but when you're
But the sound
watching
design
live,
was, yeah, the sound design was very, very impressive in Back Only 1 and 2. And fortunately, we don't get that the show, like,
the,
sorry, shell shock in the later Battlefield titles.
dude, the technology we have now for sound is just incredible. When I first heard that concussion sound, I was like, dude, this is pretty fucking immersive. But now I bring up this audio stuff because, good old Battlefield 5 is here. Do you think the audio is pretty great for Battlefield 5 in comparison now to what we've been since Bad Company 1? Like, what are your thoughts on audio in Battlefield 5?
I
Better?
have to be, I have to be honest. Audio design in BF5 is doesn't really, in terms of like hearing enemy players around you, or differing between like friendly and enemy players, like their footsteps. You can't
Mm-hmm.
tell which one, because like there's no, you can't even hear them at all you hear is a bunch of gunshots going like left and right, and then all of a sudden you got shot from behind from a guy you couldn't hear from anything. So it's the sound design. It's still needs some work. I mean, they did say in 6.2 update patch notes they improved the not footprint,
Footsteps.
footsteps. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but to be honest, after playing for a while after that update came out, it's just not really there. It still needs some work.
Yeah, I don't know what is up with that, but anyway, I was just getting a little off subject. I just wanted to cover that real quick because I know we've talked about audio so
Oh, it's
many
all good.
goddamn times here on the show. So many different people. Mostly, it's all negative, and I even theorize that maybe the footsteps are muddled and maybe not as loud as before. Well, it was because they wanted to do it on purpose. But I don't know. The more we hear about these updates coming out, maybe it wasn't on purpose, and maybe it is like just a bug or something. But it's all very
Yeah.
confusing. It's confusing times, very confusing times.
When there's so
But
much things going on in like in a multiplayer match, and you're getting shot and explosions going around, you can't really hear
absolutely,
anything, especially with going against like enemy players too.
yeah.
You can't even hear them like coming up behind you.
They took immersion to the max, man, when it came to this game. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I just want to cover that real quick. But I'm back to you, MarteezyBro. So okay, let's just get the cat out of the bag, or let's get the rooster out of the bag. What is up with these roosters? This thing kind of came out of nowhere. Tell me about the
Oh,
rooster story. What is this all about?
all right. It was like 2 years ago, when I met my community platoon, Point Gap Gaming. They were operations platoon back then, and whenever I'm in a Xbox Live party chat with them, like a couple of my buddies back then, it's like playing with them on Battlefield 1 operations. When Battlefield 1 was still in its prime.
Yep.
Whenever my windows open, it's like they hear my rooster and chickens like going off in the background, and they were wondering like, who has a rooster in the background? It's like, the heck? And then I had to point them out. I was like, I do. It's like, you have a rooster? Like, yeah, that rooster wakes me up every morning or so.
So is it like right outside your window, and this is kind of like in the backyard, like people are saying backyard cock? What is this
Well,
thing?
okay, it's like my back then I have a Turtle Beach X50 headset. The mic is very sensitive, so it will pick up anything from around like my surroundings. And when my window's open, it will pick up my rooster whenever it does its thing. And
Mm-hmm.
it's it's pretty much funny whenever like I'm in a party chat with anybody and they hear that. It's like, who has a rooster? Like, heck.
So how do you get the rooster?
My parents, were my family's Filipino, so we
Just have livestock.
yep, and roosters and chickens, we have them, and we have them because, well, why not? And we get free eggs.
Yeah, free eggs. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna come in handy real soon, especially with this pandemic and whatnot. Have you guys thought about doing that? Because eggs are in a shortage, are they not?
Yeah, it's quite a short. It's a shortage, at least not. At least what I've been hearing on Twitter. But over here, we just like we get our own eggs from our own chickens. And recently, today, we just harvested like 10 or 12 eggs from our
Whoa,
chickens. So
a whole dozen. Yeah, damn, nice. So how many roosters do you got? Is just one rooster, and or how many chickens you got?
we got one rooster and then 3 cocks, like chickens and hens.
Ah, I see. Any other animals there, or that's pretty much it?
I have a little pup. She's
Oh,
like 12 years old now. She's
oh
a
man.
Maltese mixed Havanese.
Oh wow, cool. You have a picture?
Yeah, I can send you by Discord. Let me give me 1 second.
Actually, do you have a picture of your rooster? I'm just gonna say that
My
rooster
rooster.
picture. Yes. Hey,
Um.
you watch your mouths on there. Hey, chat. I'm watching you guys.
Oh, don't worry. I see Betch and Lucy and Big Brother C going at it about my
Rooster.
cock. So
Oh no.
that's not gonna go away anytime soon. Whenever they come onto
Oh
my
man.
stream, it's like, "What's up, you cock?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a common thing. Like whenever I stream, they come in, see that, and
How
they
could you
go.
not? I want to see the rooster, man. How
I'm
could
trying
you
to look
not?
for the. I can't show you because it's night out already.
Well, true, true.
So I'm trying to look as I remember told you up like tweeted a video of my rooster doing its thing. So
Oh, really?
uh yeah, Toe you up and Nick the Grizzly visited
Uh
me
huh.
during TwitchCon 2 years ago because and
Oh
they
yeah, right. They told me about that. Shit, I forgot. Yeah,
yeah
I
and,
was there. That was a couple years ago.
yeah, I'm trying to look for it right now. But if you want to talk about some topics while I look for the
Sure,
photo,
sure, sure. Okay, so man, okay, so the puppy and everything, and the cocks and the hens, and okay, and you say you had a little brother and everything. He was in the room to come get the freaking Nintendo, the
Switch.
Pokemon.
Yep, he was. I have a little brother and a little sister. I'm the eldest out of the siblings.
And they're not. Are they all into Animal Crossing right now, or like?
Yes, yes, they are.
Yes.
We're all suckers for Nintendo games, and Animal Crossing came out yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and we're really wanting to play it. My
Have you?
sister's going to be the mayor of the new island we're going to make.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I don't know much about that game at all, actually. I seen some gameplay. It looked kind of goofy, and it looked like the. What's so different about this new Animal Crossing? Is it just because of, like, the layout, or because it
Um,
came from the what was it? It was a phone game, right? Or
yeah, there was a phone game called Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and there was also one another one for the Nintendo 3DS called Animal Crossing New Leaf.
oh, okay.
And
So what's
that
so different about this one now?
this one, it's you're living on an uncharted island known by this I guess raccoon that makes you pay just to live on that island.
Oh my
And
god, you have to pay
it's just
rent?
like a
Jesus.
yep, that's pretty much how it goes when you start a Animal Crossing game.
Oh, okay.
And but pretty much like that, it's like it's you just move on to pay your rent, you improve things, build your house, like creating the island more lively, and that's pretty much the whole point on like in Animal Crossing.
The rooster pays the rent. Oh my god. Hey, thanks for the gifted subs, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome everybody. Right now MarteezyBro is looking up, fetching some
I'm pretty sure I have it
pictures
in here. So,
of his
oh, here we
rooster.
go. I found it.
You found it? All right, send it
Yeah.
on over, man.
Okay. Gonna send you by Twitter. So
Oh, send it by Twitter. Okay, sure.
there you go. I do also found the photo of me, Nick the Grizzly, and Tow You Up as well.
Okay. Let's see if I can find that.
I send you by DM on Twitter. So
Oh, okay. Can you DM it to me on Discord?
Discord.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just
give
bring
me
that
one
up real quick
second.
because I like have a whole bunch of shit on there. I don't know how to hide the screen.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, copy link to tweet.
It's just sounding weirder and weirder every time we talk
I
about
know it
this.
sounds weird, guys. I knew. All right, I got it. How
Yeah,
to do
you
this?
know you want to see it too, right?
There you go.
Okay.
All the ladies flock to tease his massive feathery cock.
Oh my god. Okay. This is the Cox house. Wow.
Yep, that's
So,
my backyard
okay.
and where the chickens and rooster live.
All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so did you name them?
My sister does, but I don't remember the rest of the names. But the rooster we call Tekla.
Tekla?
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know what the meaning behind that. My sister just gave the name and that's it.
Okay, and the other one? Tekla, huh?
I don't know
You
the
don't
other
know?
one's name. I don't often. I often just hear them, but my parents often like just take care of them most of the day.
Do
But
you
I
guys
don't
ever
know the rest of the names.
do you guys ever tell them like to pipe down, or do you just let them
Nope,
do their thing?
nope. Funny. One thing is, we're gonna about our chickens. We had one incident with. I told this to on my stream like a couple weeks ago. Some of our neighbors were having complaints about our chickens and roosters.
I would think. Yeah. Dude, I
Yeah,
would be
and
hella mad.
one of them apparently some guys just came over to our backyard and killed one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, we
What?
yeah I know. We called the cops about it. I woke up during the middle of the night we're hearing one of the chickens crying, and yeah, we
Oh
lost one
my
of our chickens
god.
because some crazy guy just killed one of them. We found blood on our backyard. And it's like crap.
Oh
And
my
I had to wake my
god.
dad up and my mom just to tell them what's going on. And well, we didn't caught the guy, but we had to bury one of our chickens. So,
Mm,
and we
like
had
you
these
said.
chickens since they were little chicks.
Yeah, dude. And you get attached to any pet, really. I mean, you guys consider these, pets, right? I mean, to an
Yeah, we do.
extent.
I
Yeah.
mean, they may do eggs for us, but we still consider them as pets.
Yeah. That's
And plus,
sad, man.
we always get these visits from our neighbors' cats. They always play with the chickens.
Oh, really? So so every once in a while you let them out and go about the
Yeah, we let
backyard,
them out
right?
to walk around, but we don't make them get out of the house just to because one of the
Oh, I
chickens
see.
got out of the backyard and got run over.
What? Oh
I'm not
my
joking.
god, this is
I'm not.
tragic.
I'm not really joking. That actually happened.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yep.
Oh man. Oh my, that's not cool. Oh, I don't even know.
It sucks, but my dad, mom, and my mom just kept going with the chickens, and always get a new chick and let them grow, and just they kept living in our backyard, and so on. We
Jeez.
haven't had any incidents since then.
Oh, good. Jeez, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear about the chicks and it was one of the roosters, right? You said or they're all chickens that died, right?
Oh, it's mostly the chickens,
The
yeah.
chickens, yeah. Sorry to hear about that, dude.
Yeah, it
But
happened a couple years ago, but yeah,
yeah,
I guess people complained so much they would go into our backyard just to kill one of them. I guess.
just wild. Just wild to think about that. Um,
Yeah.
cool. So, and of course, are the roosters always on time?
Whenever during the daytime, whenever I stream like around 3 o'clock p.m. PST, if my window's open, the stream will hear it over time.
All
Plus,
right,
I have
cool.
sound alerts on my stream, so it's not just outside my window. You get to hear the rooster.
Have you ever played like a digital rooster sound to your roosters and see if they would do it back?
Nope. um, I never thought about it until now, but
You got the
I don't think they would.
speakers.
I mean, I do, but I don't think they're gonna react to it so much.
That would be interesting. I never thought about doing that, but all right, cool. So we got Tekla and the unnamed rooster, or no, wait, the rooster is called Tekla,
Yeah,
and the other chicken, okay, is who
yeah.
knows?
The rest of the names
Unknown.
I don't remember. So
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Anyway, so let's move on to a different subject here,
I like how we're talking
Marteezy.
about my cocks, and since we were on a Battlefield show,
Yeah, it was really cool to even see your roosters. You know what I'm saying?
where does one go to buy a new chicken batch at a farm?
Yeah. Do you go to any I don't know if you have any like county fairs in your area. I
Um,
know they like sell a whole bunch. You ever think about doing those?
no, my dad. We don't. We sometimes go, but we mostly just not go to those type of festivals. But my dad often goes to a shop that consists of chicks growing up, and if my dad sees them, like he would just buy them. We we're in the process of making a bird cage as well, but
Ah,
so far we're not. We decided not to do that.
interesting. Okay, let's go back into some Battlefield 5 talk. Um,
Eh, Oh yeah, I
of
just want to
course.
point out,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Bad Company 2 was my first multiplayer experience.
Right. You said in Bad Company 1 was the single player, right?
Yeah, Bad Company 1 I started in single player, but in Bad Company 2 that's where I started my multiplayer experience.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, let's just go over some Battlefield news real quick, and then we'll dive back into like those older Battlefield games and talk about its glory and where we're at now. But in terms of what's going on in the world, if you guys haven't noticed, we've been living in a cave for the past 2 weeks. A worldwide pandemic has affected almost every human here on Earth, and it even affects game companies and developers. And so far, a lot of the DICE employees have been sent home to work at home. So, because of that, we will not be able to get any more content or significant content for Chapter 6. So, whatever they had planned, it either got canceled or postponed. So, however many more weeks, do you know how many more weeks are left in this
It's
chapter?
I think 8 more weeks. It ends up until April 30th. So,
April 30th? Okay.
yep.
Okay, so like end of the month, end of next month, excuse me.
Yep.
Damn, that's a long time. Damn.
Yep. And
Uh
we're mostly getting a bunch of tier skits and cosmetics and that's it.
right. But
And yeah.
yeah, some things that the community managers stated that this was pretty much all they were going to have for the whole chapter. There's no talks of maps. It was just going to be cosmetics instead of tier kit skips, or it was going to be a one gadget, or I think it was the double barrel flame, not
Flare.
flame, flare gun, double barrel flare
Okay.
gun. But I guess that had a game breaking bug, they said, and just like every equipment that they release has a game breaking bug for some reason. But they tease it anyway, right? And we're also expecting a few elites to come by, like good old Steve Fisher, right? I think people are still waiting on Steve Fisher, man. But yeah,
He
they're
kind of looks like
teasing.
Johnny Cage to me.
Yeah, he does. A lot of people are
Or
comparing
Tom
him to,
Cruise.
yeah, Tom Cruise. Yeah, exactly. So who knows when we're gonna see that? We just don't know. Thank you, Soldian. Welcome to the Battlefield show. I'm joined here with MarteezyBro. Last minute to get in place of Shino Kara. So Shino got sick. If you guys are just joining us, and we'll have to reschedule that. So yeah, send him your love through Twitter. He'll be on there. Go follow him on there. Shino Kara. Okay. But anyway, we were talking about Battlefield news and how everything's kind of slowed down, and basically you shouldn't expect anything else other than maybe a couple new cosmetics, maybe Boeing cosmetics. I don't know. Oh shoot, sorry, I didn't change that, brother Steve. I don't know my freaking commands. I never update them. That's my bad. But yeah,
Oh,
that
no
was
worry, I'm the same
Deltaro on the
boat.
last one. I keep forgetting to update that. That was like the one thing I forgot. But anyway.
It happens.
So yeah, a massive slowdown at DICE. Everyone's working at home, so they cannot get content out the way they wanted to in the first place. So that begs the question, MarteezyBro, and I really want to ask you and the chat and DICE themselves if they'll ever watch the show. Probably not, but if they ever do, will there be a Chapter 7? That's, I think, is a very important question, because if you fumble on answering that question, we might have a problem. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Well, it kind of depends based on, like, the pandemic we're having, coronavirus. It definitely hinders the works of developers around the game industry, especially with DICE. All their developers have to work at home. And seeing how Chapter 6 is being treated like being a rehash of Chapter 4 in terms of cosmetics and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's kind of a bummer that we're not getting new content. And I saw that community manager Part Welsh, Adam Freeman, said that seemed like the putting weapons in the chapter rewards is more successful compared to putting them in the weekly Tides of War rewards. And I mean, I guess, but we still want new content regardless. Like, we don't want to play with the same old guns or guns that are overpowered. I'm talking to you, 2A. And
Yeah.
and yeah, in terms of like Chapter 7, we're not really sure what's really gonna happen for Chapter 7. Even after April 30th, we don't know any details about the upcoming Chapter 7, or if it's gonna be in the works or so, based on
Right.
this
And
pandemic.
it's probably gonna be delayed as well. So
Yeah,
again, like, we can't even speculate. It's literally that bad. We can't speculate on when it will come out, because I'm not even sure about next month. Definitely not even sure. And the month
yeah.
after that, like when the chapter ends, we'll probably hear something.
I
That's what I'm
mean,
guessing. That I
there,
mean, I would think.
there were like talks about a new map coming up soon, like called Pacific Ocean. I'm sure they're trying to nail a naval, like, turning tides type of DLC map, because we're in the Pacific. We're supposed to have some type of naval warfare in the war in the Pacific. And in this chapter, it's called Into the Jungle. Wouldn't it be make sense if we're just fighting the jungles of the Pacific for close quarter battles, instead of just going to a, like, say, one of the maps in BF4 and like the Naval Strike DLCs,
I think they try
like
to do that with the Pacific
Pacific Storm.
Storm. I think they try to do that, but it really, dude, there's no naval combat there. It's just
I mean,
dinghy
yeah,
boats.
you don't get much of a, say, like those mab torpedo boats from Battlefield 1 that you get to use during say maps like Heligoland Bight. And
Where you get the destroyers and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get access to any destroyers like the behemoths that we had in
Or the
BF1.
behemoths, right? Sometimes they had two behemoths.
Yeah,
Um,
and that only occurs in like Heligoland Blight and Zeebrugge Raid.
yeah, yeah. There was, I mean, that was a more fully fledged out game where they had the premium service of promised content. So they were working on that right after release of their game. But now, I guess you can say that DICE has got a little less stress on them because of a live service that they have now. So
Yeah,
every day you have something new, which is pretty much the laziest thing you could possibly do, is just have daily rewards and missions, which are laughable sometimes because you can't even do some of them because the game modes aren't there or not populated. I think there's some on there still require you to play 3 rounds of domination. You just can't do that unless you play on a community match, which
yep.
nobody uses really. And then you get the weekly ones, which is something that they were actually doing, which was cool. There was a weekly mission, and you get a reward for it. Usually, it was really hard at first, and then people complain about that. It was a little too hard for amount of time people play on average. And
Yep.
then they had they made them easier. and but you still got a gun or gun skin, which was kind of lame. I really think they should have had like actual weapons or gadgets. I mean, maybe like a tank bundle skin. I don't know, but they were drip feeding the hell out of us. So the weekly stuff was kind of like an illusion of content, because what I think about content for Battlefield games is maps, right? And
Mhm.
weapons and gadgets. Those are content. Everything else is to support your game, like microtransactions for skins and whatnot. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But that should be the least of your worries. Nowadays, developers think that is the worry. You need that to make the money over time for a live service. But what do you think about the whole microtransactions in Battlefield 5 and company coin issues and boins? What do you think about in Battlefield 5?
Well, to be honest, the way they handle their microtransactions of BF5, it's like the only way they would gain money is either just purchasing the game from new players or the year two edition, as well as the
Yeah.
Boing skins like the epics, and now we have tank customization. We get those cool, really cool skins compared to what we have for rare and common. I mean, we get a bunch of bags and helmets for company coin for our tanks. Like, okay, that's not really
That
much,
was
but
very laughable. I had a fun
yeah,
time seeing that. One
it's
helmet that was glued on the side.
I'm not a tanker, but that's kind of disappointing because I know some friends who play as tanks, and this is the only cosmetics they get to purchase with their company coins. Like, oh, that's not really much. I mean, the only skin we get is the coming soon skin for the Sherman tank, and that's only free, and that's the only epic skin. You get an American flag to show off your
It's
you
pretty
know,
cool. It's quite
yeah,
different from the original. It's pretty cool. But
and a
that's
bunch of
it.
tank. Yeah, that's the only epic skin you get out of and that's only applicable to the Sherman tank. That's it.
Yeah,
And
that yeah.
yeah, and I think the whole thing with the live service of Battlefield 5, I listened to like Fireborn and Energized Knights regarding about their takes on this topic. Honestly, this live service doesn't seem to be working well for them in terms of getting more like incentives and for money, and especially they definitely need the money to create more content for us in the Battlefield 5, but it doesn't seem to be working that much. The premium service worked, but the only problem is that the premium content divided a player base during Battlefield 1, 4, and Hardline, and
Hmm.
people can't really access those map packs, that the expansion packs they
That
get.
was a rough part. I was totally for changing that whole system of premium for sure. But
Yes. So I thought there was gonna make some changes during Battlefield 1 with their premium service, but it's still like the same thing like they did in Battlefield 4 and Hardline. And it's kind of sucks. We had people had to purchase these expansion packs in order to experience the maps, and especially if you want to play that certain playlist of those DLC maps. Yes, you have to purchase it, but not many people would purchase premium just to gain access to them, and most of the DLC servers will be dead or so.
exactly, yeah, because the player base kind of dwindles um, when the hype is pretty much over. But what do you think they should change? Do you agree with any of the previous guesses? Take on premium.
Honestly, if they were to bring back premium, it's I see what Modern Warfare is doing. Like they do a season based on what sort of content it will be bringing out. They have a roadmap and everything. BFI doesn't have one. Only in the
Yeah.
first half of the
First.
year of during year one and everything.
Yeah.
Like what we're gonna expect. And Modern Warfare has a good system along with Rainbow Six Siege and I guess Apex Legends as well. And if they were to bring back premium, I would say that if you get premium, you gain early access to these expansion packs, and after say a week or two, people will get these expansion packs for free. That way, it won't be a divided
Okay.
player
That's
base.
pretty much what Fireborn said. I
Yeah,
really, really like that idea. I think it's
yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, and plus with a premium, it will count as a battle pass too. Like
Yep,
in
yep.
Modern Warfare, like you purchase a battle pass, you gain access to these cosmetics, skins,
Yeah.
weapons,
As you
and
progress and level up and you get all this cool
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And also, if you don't have premium, you can still get some stuff out of the battle pass for free. Like there's certain items that'll be marked free, like
Mm-hmm.
weapons and skins that you still get them. But if you want to get the rest of the stuff in that battle pass, all you have to do is just purchase it. And
Oh,
the battle pass
yeah.
in the battle pass in Modern Warfare is only like $10 or something.
Yeah. I've noticed that maybe DICE looked at that and they're like, shit, dude, we got to add our weapons to our chapter, which is pretty much our season.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know?
they did in Chapter 6, but the thing
They
is
did.
in
Yeah.
Battlefield 5, it's live service, you gain access to these chapter rewards, like, you just have to work for it, you know? It's like, for every week you get double XP or, like, say, chapter XP for every weekly rewards, like, you'll grow your chapter rewards farther, and then once you're max ranked, like, well, that's pretty much it, right? You
Yeah, but
in chapter
this doesn't solve the map issue, the map shortage, because people need maps, you know, on
Yeah,
a regular basis to keep it fresh. So, how are you going to implement maps? Really? Do you have an
yeah.
idea? Maybe.
Well, it's I mean, Modern Warfare, like an example, like creates like at least puts out two or one map
True.
like say like every 2 weeks or so. Sometimes it'll be a remastered map from the previous Call of Duty titles, and it works and it's free for everybody, so no people can't complain about free maps and
No,
you know
and they're old
and
good maps too. They're like tested out good maps. But like what Cyber Rage has said, or Cyber Sage, sorry, that all these maps are just not very well designed, and that's a good point. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna have to take on Solomon Islands. I was kind of hoping that
mhm.
map would be excluding tanks and planes. I mean, having no planes is good, but with tanks on Solomon Islands, I was kind of hoping for an infantry only Pacific map for once in a while because all the stuff we had to deal with Iwo Jima, Wake Island, and Pacific Storm. Like, can we just have a map on the Pacific without having to deal with tanks all the time? Right
Yeah,
now, I
that's what I was hoping for. The next map would be purely infantry. So now a you have all the Pacific maps in a bundle, and everyone's play style can be there. I think that's like the whole plan for Battlefield 5 was to have a mix of play styles. There's a map for everyone. It's everyone's battlefield, you know, kind of thing. So I think that's what they wanted to do with that. I was thinking maybe that was what the next map was, but
um,
maybe we're not going to get that this time.
unfortunately, the BFI doesn't have a roadmap for 2020, and Modern Warfare does, and they showed up what sort of maps are coming. There you go. But
I
BFI
don't think they
doesn't.
can. I don't think they can right now. I don't think any company can put out a roadmap right now because of
No,
what's
they.
going on. So
So
we just got
far,
super unlucky.
yeah. And the irony is that Battlefield 5 is doing so badly. Their other Dice team working on Star Wars Battlefront 2 is doing more successful compared to their Battlefield counterpart.
Yeah, when it comes to like putting out content, but they don't forget that game had huge struggles and it's really old now.
Yeah, it's
Battlefront
like
2 is very old.
yeah, it's 3 years old and came out 2017. The problem back then was because EA put out as a pay to win. You had to buy
Yeah, that
loot
was a
boxes in
huge
order to get
debacle.
star cards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
People hated that, and Dice decided to rework that system after a couple months, and there you go. People started to like it more, and then when they're focusing on the Clone Wars content, people started to like it more. And as a 2 years go on, they did the Rise of Skywalker content, and it's pretty much Star Wars Battlefront 2 got a redemption at the end of 2019.
It did. It did. I don't know about like a resurgence in player base. It may have had a resurgence, but for a little bit. Like I even on if I use Twitch, probably a bad example, but there's less people viewing Battlefront 2 on Twitch than Battlefield 5, which is sometimes extremely low, even around this time. I don't know if that player base actually stuck around for those little updates. I don't know what it's like. Have you been playing? Have you ever played Battlefront 2?
Yeah, I play it now and then. I always check out their new updates, and I had Battlefront 2 for the Edition for free from Xbox. I got it from a giveaway, and I didn't have to pay for anything to play that game. It's like,
Yeah.
and I noticed Cyber Sage was putting up here the quality of new content is a lot better too, and which I agree. Sometimes,
Yeah.
whenever content is being given out, they have to make it good, so the quality of it when it comes out, it should be good for everybody. But
I uh
every
I, I can notice the passion. I can see it. I brought up last time when we talked about Star Wars Battlefront 2. I mean the little things like the Ewok mode. I thought that was really funny, and adding all the different heroes and balancing them, and then just adding BBA and the other, what was the R8 or whatever, the
BB9E, yeah,
BB90, yeah, the bad one basically,
yeah,
and
the
all the
evil BB8.
yeah, and all the cool, yeah, all the Ewoks that they added as soldiers as well are
As
like
part of the rebellion, yeah, it's like they are
that's
doing the
cool,
team
man.
of Dice for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is putting a lot of content and work to these to Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I talked about this couple times that maybe they should get some help from the Battlefront 2 team to help out Battlefield 5 in terms of getting it back up its feet, because even though BF6 or whatever it's going to be called whenever it comes out, I'm pretty sure they don't want BFI left in the dust like Hardline did.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. I hope Chapter 7, if they ever have it, blows us away. But I'm hoping for the best. I don't know what they were playing, but if we don't get anything for Chapter 6, that means we're assuming that they're putting their heart and souls into Chapter 7, but we don't even know that, you know. So
Oh,
that's an interesting thing too. Yeah, Tombstone meant put
yeah,
up a
brought up a
question.
topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, should DICE EA go with a yearly cycle like Call of Duty, maybe add Medal of Honor in the mix to keep BF from getting stale, or stay with a 1.53-year cycle? Seems like DICE is having a hard time keeping their games going past a year-ish. Well, that definitely shows in BF5. I mean, that
Yeah,
came out
definitely be a 5.
2 years after Battlefield 1, and
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 took 3 years to make after, Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all about what makes money right now, and it seems like because of the birth of Fortnite, everyone's hopping on the live service bandwagon,
Not to mention the Battle Royale wagon as well.
and the battle royale wagon. But we know where that went. We try to warn them how to put it out.
Yep.
Look at Modern Warfare. What was it? 30 million players or something
And it's still
for
growing.
Warzone, and still growing. Free, standalone.
It's free for everybody. And it's 150 players in Battle Royale, and Firestorm has what, 64 players
64.
in one match? I
Yeah, a
mean,
lot of dead space.
and plus Firestorm is made by the people of Criterion Games,
Yeah.
and they also created the Starfighter Assault game mode in
Yes,
Star
they
Wars
did.
Battlefront 2. Honestly, when they said that when DICE said they're going to take over development of Firestorm from Criterion, I think that was a bad idea. It's Criterion seems to be putting more effort. Like, DICE should be focusing on the multiplayer aspect, while Criterion focuses on Firestorm. But I don't
Like
really
let
know.
them keep doing
Just,
that. But it looks
just let
like
them do that.
something happened there, whether there was a bad deal or they had another project they were working on. But everything, once it released, everything closed off. Or like DICE Sweden is now taking over. And
Yeah,
we were talking amongst ourselves and we're like, that's not a good idea. We have our own problems here. Why are you guys leaving us? What about balancing, or what about fixing the looting and all the other things we were asking about? It was a huge issue back then.
The last thing they did for Firestorm was adding the dome and a couple new locations and adding your, like, say, skins from multiplayer into your preferred weapons in Firestorm. That's
Yeah,
the last time we
jeez.
got anything new for Firestorm, and apparently DICE is putting all their effort in making the War on the Pacific for Chapter 5 instead of Firestorm. So
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely,
they
absolutely.
really should just have Criterion stuck with them to continue making Firestorm more alive when it
It would
first
have
came out
worked.
in March.
It would have worked. They would have fixed
Yeah.
everything fast.
And plus, they
And
have game changers like telling them to make it free. Otherwise, it's not going to work well because people are not going to buy Battlefield 5 in order to access Firestorm because that's
which
kind of
already
a
has a bad taste in everyone's mouth because of the
yeah.
release of it and all the marketing. Like, oh, that shit game. Like, I was watching my favorite streamer, he hated it. Like, why would I ever play that? And
Like
wait,
Black,
I had to buy that to play Firestorm? Like, get out of here.
yeah, same goes for Black Ops 4. Like you have to in order to play Blackout, you need to purchase Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
I so that's kind of a terrible deal sense and not a great way to put out something new, like especially something like Firestorm. And I'd
Yeah.
say Modern Warfare Warzone definitely tops both Battlefield 5 and Black Ops 4 in terms of Battle Royale.
Yeah. Simplicity, uh, less inventory spam, less things work. You don't have to worry about like the different kinds of armor you have or anything like that. They even took many ideas from Firestorm as well.
Yeah.
With the armor pack, it's literally almost the same animation as putting that goddamn plate on you, which is really weird.
I
They
mean, I
did it
like
even
the
better. You can actually slide it into a vest. Hey, that makes sense. Like little things like that. They took
I
all the good
definitely
things out of Firestorm and
yep.
made it way better, way better.
Yeah, I definitely like the concept of Firestorm, like a ring of fire. That because I don't think I ever seen that in a
Yeah.
BR game before. Like in Warzone, it's basically gas. So we kind of get that part, but
Yeah, it's
a
like days. Yeah,
Firestorm is kind of more intimidating and like devastating compared to a gas attack. To be
yeah.
honest.
It's like H1Z1 gas, all that stuff.
Yep.
That's fine. That's fine. It's
I
something that
mean,
worked. You know.
Firestorm could have stayed alive back then when it first came out in March. Everyone definitely had fun. I definitely had fun. I played with Big Brother Steve and a couple other
Oh yeah.
players along the way playing it.
I
And
have a small little clip for you actually of you doing
oh,
something. Let's see. What was it? Here, here. See this?
Yeah.
oh,
He's,
That was the guy
this
that was
one.
bugging you, right?
Oh yeah, I was playing with a couple others. Sniping is mostly my main gig when it comes to Firestorm because you saw how big the map is in Firestorm.
yeah. And in Firestorm, I mean, just look at the HUD and everything. The inventory wasn't that crazy. It just had one level of like equipment, you know, and that
Yeah.
was pretty much it. That's basically what's going on in Warzone, essentially.
Yes. In terms of inventory, Warzone seems to have it more better compared to BF5. Like in Firestorm, all the loot when you kill a enemy player, it's like clumped up. You're trying to find that certain item that you want to get, like armor, for example, and you can't even get it because of like say ammo, assault rifle ammo, or a weapon is like humped on over it. It's hard to like get that armor play and when an enemy team comes up behind you, it's like, oh crap, I gotta run.
Yeah.
So it's the looting system. I wish they worked on it, and as I said, they should just left Criterion Games to work on Firestorm while Dice works on multiplayer. But yeah, what we got is what we got.
Yeah. It
And
had, man, it had so much promise. Like a lot of people were saying in the chat. It's just they just didn't listen. Like, or they had something in place to where they had to make a decision and then they went for it. And they
yeah,
can't reverse it. Like something technical, or they don't have time to start over and redesign it to make it stand alone. It like literally has to live with Battlefield 5, otherwise it wouldn't work.
yes, they
Um,
have game changers telling them to make it free, but they
yeah,
didn't listen. So
no,
here's another thing that if they're not gonna listen to what game changers are saying to them, what's the point of that program then?
What's the point? Yeah, no, that's a excellent point. Excellent point.
I mean,
And
Flackfire and a couple others put their like opinions. Broken Machine also, and
yeah.
I asked them about it, and honestly, the whole point of Game Changers program, what's the point if they're not going to listen to feedback from the game changers that game changers get from the community and put it up to them?
Yeah, it was very it was just like a slap in the face almost, like come on, like you could hear some frustration from many game changers on YouTube and on
Yep.
Twitter as well. It was just, oh my goodness.
It
So
it's
you bring up a good point.
yeah, it's when I check out Broken Machine, especially with Flackfire too, and especially with your show with Flackfire as well and Fireborn.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, whenever they say regarding about their game changers program and talking with them how to improve the game, I feel like their opinions are not heard, and I decided just do whatever thing that makes the game worse, I guess. So
yeah. Everything seemed opposite almost of everything we were feeling in the game. Like just me and my friends playing. It's like, oh man, we need more of this, and then they do the direct opposite, right? And they
yeah,
bring out like bombastic, fantastic, which literally consists of the what we think is the worst maps in the game, with because there's too much vehicle spam and they're too big, and they have bad flow essentially, and then they actually do that, and we're like, you got to be kidding me, right? And then we expected something else, and I think the only good playlist we had was a side by side playlist, which was the most popular maps, but on Conquest, and those are pretty fun. There's no Hamada, there's no Al Sundan. It was just all the good maps, or all the decent maps. But just that we're on that subject, our glorious community manager has brought up the issue again that we could implement new playlists during this downtime. And if you guys ever want to reach out to the community manager, he's on Twitter, and just let him know what you want to see for a new playlist. Get your playlists out there. It's pretty much you can create whatever you want as long as you can make it in the community game system. You want to make a community games? Yeah. So you can't mix it around like crazy. Like you can't have Conquest with Breakthrough. Like you can't
just
have
don't make us
this.
play that bombastic, fantastic
Yeah,
playlist
just
again.
please. Or the extreme weather playlist, which was that really a playlist? Like it was just the maps, but they turned it on for every map across the whole game. The extreme weather was there. It didn't matter if you played extreme weather or not. It was still there all the time.
I really hate the Hamada. The map may look like Mars, but I hate that map so much because in Conquest and especially with the tanks and everything, I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna play that map because even with the whole map being Mars, as I said, there's still tanks you got to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, Nuke, thanks for the resub. Yeah, can we talk about the tier skip system? We talked about a little bit earlier on in the stream. The tier skip is just, it was planned, but not for the entire chapter, as far as the community manager said. But then an unfortunate pandemic went across the world, and they basically, and some bugs, of course, for the game, they couldn't ultimately put those new things in to the chapter, new content. So we're pretty much just we might be stuck with tier skips for the rest of the way. I think, personally, I think it's a lazy way to implement tier skips. I think tier skips should be something you can earn over time of playing, kind of like a double XP level thing, like a separate system. You know what I'm talking about, Marteezy? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be part of the weekly thing as a reward. It should just be there that you earn, I don't know, like over time, not doing things, just playing, really. And you can earn that tier skip that way. Leave the weekly thing for, like, content. Like, like skins, like common skins. I don't know if that's a good enough reward. Maybe like a set, I guess, would be nice. Would be good enough, I guess. But I'm looking for weapons, gadgets, full on sets of cosmetics for my soldier, or I don't know, maybe like an epic for a gun, which we did get a few times, but some of them were kind of whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about the tier skips?
I mean, if you're max rank on chapter rewards, you get 100 points in return for that tier skip. But
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, but honestly, that's not really much. I mean, sure, you get 100 points, but what's there to spend on besides the epic skins?
You can't
And
buy anything with 100 points,
and
literally.
plus, Big Brother Steve here has a million company coin, and you can't spend it on anything.
Yeah.
Like those epic skins, we would have bought them with our company coin right away, but they kind of fucked us all over.
Mm-hmm. And
Like
even
this,
if you are like actually gathering those coins, it's hard to make that back. Let's say you spend like 100 grand on an epic or something, it's going to take you forever to get that back because you don't earn that much, if any at all, after a match, as far as I remember. I know you can get them from assignments and dailies, but those are like only 100 company coin every once in a while, so it'll be hard to get that coinage back. But it is a problem, and
yeah,
it's basically one of the same problems that Battlefield 4 came into when it comes to like unlocking stuff in battle packs. You would get attachments, but let's say you unlocked all the attachments, so all you would get are either XP bonuses, right? You get the 10-minute or something, 10-minute XP boost or 10%, and sometimes there's like a 200% that would be rare, and then every time we would open up a battle pack, it would just be useless stuff. So it's kind of like the same idea for people that play the game for the long run, and DICE has always really failed on that. I don't really recall a game from DICE that has catered to in any way the really long distance players, the ones that play forever, like hundreds of hours. Maybe I could think of like back in Battlefield 2, it was really tough to actually rank up. Like it took thousands of hours to get top rank, and people just nowadays don't have that kind of time, right,
yep.
Marteezy? So I think was one of the issues that we're just always going to have, because people just don't play as much as we do, So what's up, guys? Welcome in to the Battlefield Show, episode 23 here with MarteezyBro. Let's get into MarteezyBro. So your play style is significant. Is some of the craziest stuff I've seen from even a console player. I'm sure you can kick all of our asses on PC too. Let's not get that mistaken. But
yeah, I don't know about that. There's Enders, so I don't think I can keep up with him or Boca Boy.
they're in another century, but you can still kill them. I know this for a fact. And you tried it on PC, right? Didn't you? Just for like a little bit.
I played PC with Tyrium, then with you on Battlefield 1 back then, but BFI doesn't see me working on my PC.
I see.
My PC, I built it like 4 years ago, and I didn't know much about computer specs or making a gaming PC. I just bought a case with preset and just bought a graphics card, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have a cooler for my PC, so.
Oh, I hear you. But
yeah,
so you start off, I guess sniping's your thing, right? Has it always been sniping, or
it started in It started in Battlefield 1, because the satisfaction of sniping in Battlefield 1 is what got to me. It got me interested just playing sniping, but I'm not one of those guys who just prones in one spot and trying to shoot people from far away. I prefer being up front and close. And when people see us recon like myself just going up to the ejected, it was like, is this guy really for real? He's moving up to the ejected, not just proning on his dick, just shooting people from far away. Like, yeah, I mean, and people even people were impressed by that, and But even then, I also get some hate. It's like I get called hacker. I get called
Yeah.
faggot for some reason because I get headshotting the same person for like 10 times now.
I'm sure
Because
they
this,
throw out very many bad slurs that are not
there's
good.
many snipers I kill who always prone on their dicks. That they kept wondering, well, how the heck did you kill me? It's like I'm not proning in one spot. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and you can tell them
And
straight up. Like, I mean, it takes some skill. You know, it takes some skill, and you got that. Not everyone can do what you do when it comes to sniping.
yeah,
But it's
so
something that maybe you can encourage, others to do. And if people there's always gonna be mad people out there for sure telling you terrible, hateful things all the time. But I mean, you do you, man. I mean, that's just the way it works,
yeah,
I have some clips I think of you running around as a sniper. Let me see here.
yeah. You can show
Uh
them the clips of me sniping, and yeah, when you're talking about like how I can inspire like players to snipe like me, I had that like yesterday, and a couple people came to me that I gave them some tips, and they said their aiming has been improving in their play style. They kept getting more headshots compared to when they're proning on the ground in one spot.
yeah.
And
What I noticed about your gameplay style is you're very patient when it comes to when you pull the trigger, and that's one key thing I've even learned. Sometimes it's hard for me to pick that up, but if I keep thinking about it, I'll do it. And you'll notice in a lot of your clips that when you go for a kill, you usually go for the quickest way, and that's a headshot with any
yeah,
type of sniper. So it's all about patience and accessing your target and the correct target.
yeah,
Whichever
like
one's the most,
yeah, my play
aggressive.
style when it comes to sniping, especially in BF5 now, it's like I kill a couple targets, but if they start shooting me, I had to start moving someplace else. Otherwise, they're gonna know where I am, and I don't want to stick in one place. And when I get to another place, I would get the drop on them most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have to go location, 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 and like I try to get those headshots as best I can. It's not I don't get them most of the time. I always miss, but if
Yeah.
I don't get the headshot, I get the body shot instead. And
Right, because you're not a hacker. Plain
I'm
and
not.
simple.
I mean, my gameplay might look like I'm using M and K, but I don't. I use a
Yeah.
controller.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the controller I use. It's
Look at that.
Xbox One Project Scorpio Edition.
There
Nope,
you go.
there's no paddles on this at all. I don't use paddles. I just use how it should be. I use like these very comfortable grips on these thumbsticks,
Mm-hmm.
and how my gameplay goes like that. It's like my sensitivity is at 100%, and
100%. Okay.
zoom is at 55%, and it takes time and practice just to get used to the settings. And once I hone that in, I get used to it when I'm in a pub match.
The Marteezy thumbs of death. Okay, here, check this
Yeah,
out. That looked like a headshot right there, Marteezy.
it definitely did, but sometimes BFI can be misleading.
Ooh, Grease Boy.
Yeah, watch what happens when I get back up. He gets my bayonet.
Wow. That's some Stip Johnny P right there.
Yeah.
That was brutal. But
Well, see,
no, you gotta
if
do
you
what you
want to
can.
ask about me shooting grenades too, it's like
Oh yes. You timed that pretty well. I don't think I have a clip of that. I might have a clip
you
of
can
it.
look through my clip section in my channel if you want. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's very straightforward. TZ wants banning me back to back. I mean, you kind of deserved. I'm just kidding, Steve.
We'll get into that one real quick. Here's an older one. This is from the beginning of the game, or like close to the beginning, back in December of 2018. I think this is right around the time when we got the first TTK Apocalypse.
Yep.
That
terrible TTK that we had at the beginning of December. It's like, oh man.
At the moment.
Oh.
Coming for you.
Many of the console players I've noticed are very static. Right. You know?
Yep. Now, I wasn't really 100% sensitivity back then. I was still growing on that. So I was around like 70 or so.
Yeah, many on the ground.
Yep.
And, so you guys, you've noticed that a lot, right? That maybe when you watch like PC players play, do you think we're moving all the time, or is it kind of more the same because of the player base?
From what Enders pointed out, like look out the movement between like PC and console. Console movement is completely different compared to PC movement, and you see how Enders move, especially Boca Boy. Consoles like here, they don't move much. They don't move like fast, and like players like myself, like it takes time and practice just to get honing all that sensitivity on my controller right here, and if I ever come up against, I did come up against Enders during the free trial of BF5. I got my ass handed. I'm not gonna lie.
So with the whole 100% sensitivity, is that like common?
No, not all the time. It's mainly of my sensitivity was inspired by Broken Machine and a couple others. But the most of the sniping, why I started sniping was called Stade.
Okay, well he's mostly on PC, so how did you?
So it's like his sniping, he's more aggressive, and plus with the grenade, when he shoots grenades in the air, that's where I got my inspiration from. Like since that BFI mentioned, or you can shoot grenades in the air, I started. Oh, that's a cool feature, but I never get into it until I started doing these IQ plays with shooting grenades in the air just to kill that guy around the corner or over a sandbag. I started to pick up on that, and it's I stuck with it back until now, like up till now, and I still do it because I love it because it's really satisfying compared to it's like, oh, you got some guys around the corner, throw a grenade and just shoot the grenade so you can kill them around the corner so they don't be safe. They're not safe anyway.
I know I have some on Discord that are crazy. Let me see. I could.
Actually, I got one for you.
You got one? All right, send it over.
Yeah, I think I showed this to one of your streams a couple of days ago. So
yeah, we watch a lot of Marteezy clips on our program for sure.
All right,
this one's pretty good. Good start.
I won't spoil it for anybody who haven't seen it yet, so. Oh. Got the first kill. And this was on grind, so yeah.
This is on grind, yeah.
Sure
sniping on grind. We need more of those. You can't see anything usually.
Yeah, it's like that part I just kept getting hit markers, but I just kept shooting through the smoke, really just think I would hit somebody. I'm definitely hitting somebody.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and I always go for the head. That's always my thing. Now here's the part that people. I'll shut up for just one.
Yeah, what made you get into that? Oh my god, the Calibri. Were you just joking around that stream or something?
It was like I submitted some clips to AKA Art about these grenade throws, and he definitely liked them, especially with the Liberator. I got a 3-piece with that, and when I didn't know, I was at the time didn't know can I shoot grenades with the Liberator. Then when I went to practice range to test it out, I was like, oh, you can. So I decided to, since grind was out during that time, I was like, how about I just get some kills with the Liberator, shooting grenade with the Liberator. And I definitely succeed on that.
Dirty. Yeah, yes. That's some dirty stuff. Yeah, I remember I put that in like the pin clips section. Now those are really good.
Yeah, it's like I said, it takes a lot of practice. Just sometimes my shot won't always land on the grenade. Some of the grenades in BF5 are very small with the hitboxes. Like the American, British, and Japanese grenades are like this small, and they're hard to shoot, especially when you shoot them with a sniper rifle. And then, but the German stick grenade is more thicker to shoot, and it's more easier just to toss it and shoot it because it's it's a stick grenade.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. The German ones are way easier to hit. Because you can you think the hitboxes are bigger.
Yeah, I think the stick grenades has a bigger hitbox, but it's hard to do because whenever I toss the stick grenades as a German soldier, it would sometimes miss, but I would still hit it regardless most of the time. But you can also shoot the incendiary grenades too.
Whoa!
I'm not joking. I tested this out yesterday, and
will you explode in midair or what?
It will explode in midair, but I'm not sure. I can't test. I didn't test it much because it will definitely hit to the guy you throw your Molotov at, but I'm not sure in terms of where the Molotov in terms of the flames falling on. So I haven't tested that.
That's what I would think. If you shoot the bottle, will the flames go down directly to the ground below it? That's what I would maybe assume. But if it blows up in midair, it wouldn't do anything, right?
Yeah, it's like since then, Steve said that you can blow up in midair. I found that out yesterday, and I don't know in terms of damage. If you shoot a guy over with the Molotov, as I said, I'm not sure how much damage you would get.
Yeah, it's probably not that much.
Yeah. My only question is, can you shoot a throwing knife? That's not gonna happen.
Can you? I don't think the animations will let you.
No, I don't think you can shoot a throwing knife. It's a throwing knife. You can't. I'm pretty sure you can just knock it out, but nah. Like you can shoot smoke grenades, but yeah, I don't think any other grenade is. You can throwing knives. I don't think you can shoot because they're not explosive.
Yeah, but you never know. Like, what if it makes like a sound effect, like a dink or something? That would be interesting. Or like it would. Nah, that would be way hard. Try it one day. I'm sure you will. Okay, here's this other clip. Oh wait, first about your Mario hat. So where did that come in? Where'd you get that thing?
Oh, I got it at Petaluma, at a game store.
Petaluma.
So it's a city up in the northern California.
Oh yeah. Okay, Petaluma, of course. Yeah, I know. I went to school up there.
Me and my family were there. We stopped by to Nostalgia Alley, which is a gaming store. They include all sorts of like gaming and like all this old stuff they have, especially new ones. Mm-hmm. I bought this cap from there.
That's hilarious.
It's like,
is it Mario?
Yeah, it's this hat came from like Super Mario Odyssey. It's a Nintendo Switch game. And this is the new character that Mario has for a companion. His name is Cappy.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's probably why I didn't recognize it straight up, because I never played that game, but excellent game I've heard. But here's a clip of you with that hat here. I don't know what you do here. Let's see. This is in Battlefield 1, by the way.
Oh, I know this one. Yeah, occasionally I would play Battlefield 1 now and again.
Yeah.
I was kind of in my inner stiff Johnny P.
Yes, you were.
Kind of good. Yeah, I was like, just going around, it's just like, oh, there's a couple of enemies around. I'm just gonna start.
They couldn't see you. That smoke was perfect.
Nor does the fog in Empire's Edge.
The fog, yes.
You can't see anything. Like,
what was that guy doing, right?
And then there's a guy on the stairs.
I love that. I love that gun though. This is the experimental, right?
The machine pistol, yeah.
Oh, it's not the experimental machine pistol, right? That's the one with the.
Well, there is an experimental variant that based on this pistol. It's a pre-burst one, but this is
I love
only exclusive for the assault class. So yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that gun. It was the most unique weapon I've ever seen in any game, but Now we got the what was it? The model.
Model 27.
What's the one where you're stacking the stuff? Model 11 or something or.
The repeater pistola. It's like it's based on the same weapon you see here on screen, but
I mean, in Battlefield 5, there's an LMG Type 11, I think it is.
Yeah, Type 11. Yeah, there's a specialization
model. My bad.
There's a specialization where you can just top up like a bunch of stripper clips into the mag. So yeah,
I think that's one of the most interesting as well. I think I might top this gun.
But, yeah, thank you, Steve, for pointing that out.
Yeah, Type 11. That one's really interesting. I think it was in a Medal of Honor game back in the day. I saw an old
Medal of Honor Rising Sun.
Yeah,
that's the one I remembered.
Did you ever play that game?
Yeah, I played all the Medal of Honor. I grew up with Medal of Honor, and
oh shit,
Medal of Honor. It was my first FPS game that I played when I was little. My parents were not strict about shooters like that.
Yeah, damn.
But I did. But I will say this: Allied Assault was my first FPS game on PC.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember playing that. Jesus, that was what a clunky game that was, but it was fun for what it was, I guess.
It was fun when it was fun. It has moments, and yeah. I also have another clip here. It's not just sniping I always do. I do this hilarious thing with the boys AT.
Let's see. Oh, the boys. Oh yeah.
So whenever this is the only AT rifle I have that is golden.
Good, right?
I'm not joking. So it's
God, I can't stand these guns.
Yeah, but this is not how I use it is completely different from all the pronies you see.
Oh yeah.
Like, look how I do that.
Boom. Yeah, that's good. No, I usually did the same thing for that gun when I try to go for the 1,000 kills. But I don't know if I want to dare go back to that for 2,000.
For your 2,000? Oh boy, you're in for a bad time, man.
Yeah, I might lose my mind. But if I can go around running like that, shit, I'll be good to go.
And
for sure.
This is on console. I do it with my controller, and I think I just use this as a shotgun for the recon class.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly. Used to get a copy of Medal of Honor with Domino's back when I was a kid. Oh my god, or like special edition. I don't remember that. Maybe that was
I didn't know that was a thing.
What's up, chicken? Okay, so that was cool. Lots of interesting clips from Marteezy showing off his skills. Again, it's just I think you're one of the best sniper players I've ever seen, and I met you with Reese's Pieces. You were playing with her a lot in Battlefield 1, and we've been pretty much talking with each other ever since then. That was like, oh my god, was that a year and a half ago or something like that? Probably
it's about to be 2 years. So
it's about to be 2 years ago. But yeah, the BF1 was nuts, and then BF5 came along. What did you think about the sniping right away from BF5? Like, did you still think it was pretty cool, or?
It's definitely a step up. I definitely did not enjoy the sweet spot in Battlefield 1. I know a lot of people dislike about that mechanic for the sniper rifles back then. And in BF5, I definitely like it without it, because it's all about getting those headshots and landing those shots on enemy players. It's all about that instead of just relying on a mechanic that one-shots people from certain distances,
Yeah, that must have been a little well, I mean, you probably had a way better KD in BF1 than BF5, or no?
I'm pretty sure Steve will tell you what my KD is currently in BF5, but I would say my KD was back around like 3, but it's been up to 5 now. No, actually, no, it's up to 7, actually.
You have a 7 KDR in Battlefield 5?
No, that's in Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1, you have a 7.
BF5, I have an 8.
You have 8, so it's better.
And that's all because I was mostly infantry playing and being a sniper.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
I know.
that's crazy.
Steve here will often exaggerate that, saying it's Marteezy here has 11 KD. Like I don't. What the heck? Like
yeah,
where
that's
you
impressive.
get that number? But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
usually
crazy.
you would see a certain KD like that from a tanker or a pilot, but from a recon player or a all around player like myself, I don't know how you would react to that.
Yeah, I really wish I was in your shoes and freaking destroying console kids. Oh my god, I would probably still be playing console, and dump my PC if I could be a god like you are on the battlefield, dude.
I mean, you won't be able to
KDR?
get your 120 FPS plus on console,
No, I
but
wouldn't. But shit, I probably forget about that, and I just it would be way awesome to do what you do.
what's the score per minute, chicken? It's 784 in Battlefield 5, 3,000 plus in Battlefield 1.
Oh shit, 700 in BF5, Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't like I don't like bragging about my stats because I don't really care much about my KD. But
Yeah, dude, that's nuts, and that just comes natural. Yeah, I have like close to like 600 score per minute, but I only have like a 3.3 KDR. But I'm playing with a bunch of bozo guns. Okay, I'm playing with every gun now. I think that's pretty good, but anyway.
I mean, at least you're not touching the MGs or AT rifles for your 2000 challenge.
I might not. No, true.
I don't.
That
I
might
don't
give me
think you want to
headache.
go through hell for using those guns again because you know how people use them in BF5 in every multiplayer match you go in. You will see that one guy in the corner sitting on their back and shooting their MMG, like with the bipod on their crotch. So
Disgusting. Oh no, I hate the play style of for
honest,
MMGs. I can't stand it.
honestly, they need to remove that. For MMGs, for example, please don't lie on your back. You think you're gonna put down your bipod just for accurate? No, just hip fire. Just have that hip fire thing. If you want the bipod, you gotta lie flat on the ground. You can't
Yeah.
just do it on your back. Put the bipod on your crotch. It's like no, that would definitely hurt in real life, but in a game like that, it's like
yeah, and it used
no.
to screw up with visuals too, as in the past before they started highlighting all the soldiers. They got soldier glowing highlights now, so you can actually see them. Sometimes it's really hard to see them because that was for the dark places, But even now,
Devastation, for example.
Yeah, Devastation, like the library that was just an eye opener right there when people started sharing clips of proned people on their back on the books. You could not see them. It was pretty distracting. The only thing I've ever noticed when it comes to like getting like eyes on target is when they're shooting, like the sound, I can know where they're shooting from, which is crazy. You can hear gun sounds way better than you can like footsteps or anything. That will give you away. And the glow of the gun when it's firing, it's like a bright orange kind of thing. That's when I notice the MMG players nowadays. But in the dark, you can still see them. They're kind of glowing and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I know some guys who loves using MMGs. Steve, you had a guy named Blackout who just loves proning with MMGs. So, I mean, if you like it, you like it. But me, I don't like using MMGs or AT rifles for the sake of proning. It's like I feel so
Boring.
cheap. And when I say cheap, it's I would say the same thing for the ZH-29. I don't like using SLRs to the recon class, and it's I prefer using bolt actions instead of just SLRs because with the ZH killing people with two shotting like over 100 meters or so, that feels so cheap.
It
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm sorry. Like if you guys love the ZH, sure you good for you, but for me, I don't like it. I feel so cheap with that. It's like
Oh my god, dude! When I was playing freaking TDM, and I was playing with the Selb Slaughter 1906, like it wasn't even fair, man. and the ZH is better than that gun, which is crazy.
In terms of rate of fire, yeah,
rate of fire and even range. I think I don't know if they have the same damage output at range, but holy moly, yeah, the ZH is a little dirty for sure.
Hey, what's up, Mac Bullets?
What's up, Mac Attack? How's it going, man?
Yeah, Blackout's OMG, rocks MGs, but he's aggressive with them. Well, that's his thing. But like I said, it's not for me. I don't like using MGs or AT rifles. So,
what about shotguns?
Oh, I don't
always give me shit. Shotguns.
A lot of people, nobody likes shotguns. Like, sure, there's some people who like using shotguns. I know a couple people, like friends of mine, who loves running with the 1897 with the bayonet, because they like to run in there with their bayonet, like myself. And honestly, with the TTK with 6.2, shotguns seems to be used more now and again for many players, and it's really sucks, especially with the net code currently in BF5. I just hate getting killed around the corner by a shotgun.
Yeah, it's do you think the shotguns in BF1 were way more powerful than BF5, or what do you think about that comparison?
I mean, I feel like every shotgun in this game, I mean, they're kind of, I feel like there are Model 10A Hunter shotguns or something, because
they're all the same.
I feel like they're the same, but for the new one, the Model 37, it's like, it definitely feels that way. But honestly, the shotguns are just bad OP in BF5 currently. I kind of like the way they did it in BF1 though, but that's only because of the netcode being so shit.
Yeah, they had to change like patterns and all that. I remember that. Like things were like scattered. Like some of the pellets were like bulk in like one area, but this time it's like a circle pattern, so they're spread it out evenly. I think they kept that for BF5, but no, I totally understand. It must be so hard to balance shotguns, because if you nerf them just a little bit, like they become unusable. Like if you can't one hit somebody with a shotgun at like 10 to 15 meters, like it's useless because you'll just get owned by every gun. So a lot of people are just saying, man, maybe we should just not have shotguns in Battlefield games anymore.
Oh, that's kind of debatable based on how many people want or not want shotguns in the next Battlefield, because honestly, every FPS game is bound to have a shotgun.
Every game, every FPS game has a shotgun. Jeez.
So you can't really like get rid of them, because all they have to do is try to balance it out. But the thing is that their shotguns are good for close range combat, and getting one shotted, yeah, it sucks, but as a shotgun works in a video game, I guess.
Yeah, it's always fun to play with them. It's dirty, but they'll only work in those close quarter environments. It really is.
Take Underground, for example.
The whole purpose of it, that just like Argonne Forest, it's all close quarter corners, everything. Yeah, the drilling is a dirty shotgun because it also has that sniper rifle bit on there too. Yes, Tombstone, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I like the drilling, but at the same time, I don't use it that often because, even though it has a rifle round in it, I still don't like using shotguns still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's satisfying to get a long-range kill with the drilling with the rifle round, but at the same time, I feel out of place because you only get one round for the rifle while getting 2 buckshots at the drilling. And, in terms of engagements with that gun, I'm pretty sure I'll get wrecked by say a 2A or something.
All right. What do you think about the 2A, Type 2A?
Honestly, with this new update, I don't see the difference. It's still considered as the Automatico with a 50-round mag, if you put that way. And honestly, sure, it's a good addition, but many people are just using it because it's very good. Even though with that recoil they added for the 2 in this new update, it still doesn't make a difference. People can still laser that thing from across or so.
Yeah, I still get hit from medium distance. It's just It's kind of like a weird, lazy way to course correct that gun, but I keep saying this to everybody that Battlefield's always gonna have these cheese weapons because people love it. People love playing with easy weapons. When new players come in, they like, shooting automatic weapons without reloading. Like, it's in every Battlefield game. It's crazy. It goes back all the way.
Yeah, Battlefield 1, we had the Automatico. Battlefield 4, we got the AEK 971. That's in Hardline, the K10. Yeah, that too.
Always
and
gonna be there.
And now in Battlefield 5, we got our own. I would say Suomi would be the fast farmer,
I thought it would be, yeah.
But the 2-way definitely beats it in that category in terms of rate of fire. So I seen Enders like with his clip with the 2-way, and that thing still wrecks regardless of the update.
Yeah, it's not even funny. Not even.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk to you about competitive play. Did you ever think about doing that, or have you been doing that in Battlefield 5 specifically?
Yes and no. I played a couple matches with my team, Point Gap Gaming, and honestly, the game modes we play, the ones I'm most interested in was Frontlines, and this was before they take it out because of lower player numbers and
Yes.
And because Frontlines was mostly the game I would play just to play competitively, but when DICE removes it from in terms of lower player numbers, it's like I decided my interest in comp began to dissolve. So, and my team in Point Gap for the competitive team is no longer active in the comps team anymore, and they're more of a community platoon now. So. And yeah, I have played competitive Battlefield 4 back then, and it was another team called Jaeger. This was on Xbox 360. I was not on Xbox One back then,
right?
And because the 360 we were limited to 24 players, and we play like Conquest and Domination and TDM, and those are the only competitive matches I played. And I was not a sniper back then. I was mostly an assault player. And
like everybody, really.
Pretty much,
Assault medic. Yeah.
And back then, my interest in comp began to dissolve during BF4, and I don't have no interest in continuing it in BF5 either. It was fun in Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, I had the most fun in terms of competitive play, and especially with the hardcore league, and even though they don't do tournaments anymore, I definitely had a lot of fun playing against very high skilled players like myself, even though I was the only recon, I guess, in the comp scene. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's another one like me, but
I see.
But in BF5, especially when my play started being a recon, I don't think I definitely feel out of place, and I'll definitely be overwhelmed by a bunch of players playing assault, medic, and support. And plus, they have a lot of restrictions about gadgets like flares and spawn beacons and certain grenades like throwing knives.
Wow. Yeah, that would definitely put you out.
It limited my my ability to play as recon because since there's a ping system, I just have to ping where they are, but it's hard to do that. And with the flares, with the way they work in BF5, I can understand why they want to take it out in comp because people would legit like see on people all the time on the mini map, and with me being the only recon player, it's kind of hard. So my interest in comps began to dissolve after that. I mean, no offense to my team, but my interest was dissolved, and there was some issues during the comp scene in Xbox, so I decided to leave. So I just like do my own thing, and I haven't got much interest in coming back either because a lot of things going on with the comp scene and with the support with BF5 with the competitive scene. I don't think it's gonna come back up.
Nah. I mean, especially with all the crazy changes that we've been through, PTK changes, rebalance changes when it comes to gadgets, the bug with the start of the round bug or something for some of those competitive small maps, they had to like get rid of them for like few weeks. So that kind of like dissolved it as well.
Yeah, and the current comp playlist is mostly Squad Conquest. That's not really a game mode for me. It may be domination, but with a tank, but it's not really for me.
You would want domination?
I mean, I'm okay with domination, but domination was okay. I had fun with it during Battlefield 1.
What's your go-to? What would be your go-to game mode for competitive?
Frontlines.
Frontlines. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I really dislike their decision to remove frontlines and domination during when they say they have lower player numbers. I don't really believe that. Like, sure, I don't know where they get their player numbers from in terms of that game mode, but they should not removed it. If they have a lower player number, they should just bring it back for a weekly playlist so the game mode will be revived. I mean,
it's straight silly because you have Squad Conquest as a permanent game mode that I can't find any servers for that other than somewhere very, very far from me, or they're all community games, like someone's playing their own competitive thing. But
yeah, it's like so the whole thing about removing frontlines and domination, like even regardless they have a
doesn't hold up,
like lower player number, you can still revive it by just doing the weekly playlist they always do now. You know, it's like if that certain game was dying a little bit, revive it by just doing a weekly playlist of the Tides of War, and then that game was lively again. And when that weekly playlist ends, people will still be playing it. But when you bring it back again for say a certain week or so, then that game was not completely dead, like both frontlines and domination.
Yeah, the BF1 domination, like Brother Steve brought up, it was super popular with competitive players. Like that's pretty much all people played was that, just to get a competitive edge on the game, because all the other game modes were too laid back or not competitive enough, really. I mean, another better word to say it. Like a lot of top streamers used to play Battlefield 1 when it first came out, and all they played was domination. That was the only competitive style of it, and people grew and people got addicted to that. But then for Battlefield 5, I mean, it got a little sweaty for sure. But
sure,
again,
it got sweaty, but
the player base just never filled it up, and it got dead real quick. Can you say the same for Frontlines? Like, you can't, because it was never there. It was always planned as a
launch game mode for the game. So
yeah, it wasn't for launch. Yeah, and now look at Grand Operations. I mean, let's just replace them.
They gave up on Grand Operations after that Panzer Storm map they added in. They didn't add any more. They said they were going to add a Grand Operation for Mercury and Merida, but they didn't do it. So
nope.
They didn't do it. So
they had to worry about
that game mode in the dust.
Yeah, they had to worry about TTK and other crazy bug fixes, like
not to mention Al Sundan that was still like bugged during June. So yeah,
bringing back all these memories make me very, very sad.
It hurts, especially with Chapter 6 becoming more like Chapter 4. It definitely hurts more.
Yeah, and on top of a pandemic, like it's just
I mean, DICE
almost over.
Does have a good excuse about not having that much content bring out for Chapter 6 because of this pandemic, but at the same time,
I agree.
we're not getting more content for Chapter 6. We're just getting tier skips and like cosmetics only, and no maps at all.
I agree. It kind of seemed like before or even after, it wouldn't have mattered. It still would have been very, very low on just overall content. I mean, dude, they accidentally released those 2 guns at the release, so we couldn't even work our way to unlock those, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And that's so like, oh, sorry, but here's 2 free guns, but now we gotta fill it up with what, company coin? As I mean, who's gonna use company coin as
I mean, why
or
are they
anything.
putting company coin to chapter wars if we have nothing to use them? Sure, for the newer players, but at the same time, for us players like myself and us, what are we gonna use it besides using it to, the tank customization? Not every one of us is a tanker that likes using tanks all the time.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna buy those skin pieces of every part of every gun. I mean, most of them aren't even that cool, to be honest. And most of them don't even have the options of the original vanilla guns when it comes to like skins. You can only get the gold pieces and the mint pieces. That's it. You can't get blued or anything like that. Um, or patches. Like you can't. I don't know what happened to those. And remember back in the day, we would get these themed, like these new weapons would come in. They would have these themed skins with like cool customizations on there. Like there's like some French ones that we saw from like BF1. You know what I'm talking about? Like the French
Yeah, I remember
flags.
those.
Those were like, they're interesting and new and thematic for each chapter, and then they just stopped. They just released new guns with normal, the normal green throw up skin and the blue stripes, which was so repetitive and boring. Like, do
Yeah,
you
and
think
those
any
like
new
set
player would
skins.
actually like that?
I mean, with those set skins you talked about, like with the French flag and everything, they're just
Yeah.
coming in like paid bundles now in the armory. Like
Serious?
this the St. Patrick's Day one that is themed like that. Like that's
Yeah.
for example, yeah, if you want to get the skin base, they don't do that. If they want to revolve something like a holiday event to get these skins, they could have just done that. Just had to earn them, but instead we had to pay for them.
Oh
Like the
my
St.
god.
Patrick's Day
That is
bundle.
such a good point. That is such a good point. Yeah, that should have been the reward for the weekly thing during the week of the St. Patrick's Day. That should have been it.
Yeah, they could have done a community mission. If you want to get some skins for St. Patrick's Day, just play the game, then earn them through it.
Because
Instead,
they're
we had to pay like what, $20 for these skins. I seen Steve
$20.
like already bought it, and I'm not calling him out, but
Call them out.
like, look, I know you paid for that, even though it looks cool, but still, they should have just like, if they want to do a event skin for like St. Patrick's Day, just do a community mission revolving around those skins, then we can just get them that way.
Yeah.
Even for Christmas, like we had those Christmas bundles too, and are you serious? We got to pay for them?
There were community missions for the bat, right? For the Christmas bat, or was that a?
That was part of a mission during the Wake Island when it first came out, and yeah, you can get it. You have to build a snowman on Wake Island in order to get the unexpected gift baseball bat.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole separate system. Is that not?
It's separate. It's a challenge, a weekly challenge.
It's part of the weekly challenge. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
so they can implement those.
It's the same week when you unlock the BAR. So, and like you get that node, and it says you build a snowman in order to unlock the unexpected gift. They could have just done that,
Yeah, they can put the tier skips in those, as a reward. But dude, the more and more we talk about this, the more obvious it is that they just don't have content to give out. They don't have enough,
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking myself, dude, like, are they gonna have a chapter 7 at this point? Like, there's so many things there in the code. All those unreleased skins, all the shit from 5v5 game mode, all those guns that were supposed to be in the 5v5 game mode, but they had to be reworked and restructured for regular multiplayer, which blows my brain out because why wasn't there an option for both? Because you're telling me when 5v5 game mode, I have to play that just to play with the new weapons? Like, that's mental to me. That's crazy. Like, yeah, it was like, whoa, I can't play with this gun in multiplayer? Like, that would have been the first thing everyone would have complained about. Like, hey, I want to play with this cool gun in multiplayer. Guess that wasn't the plan. Wow. Like,
I'm kind of glad they scrapped that 5v5, to be honest. I know, I mean, you can give me salt about it, but really, I'm not I don't want that become like the next Incursions, really.
Yeah,
It's like,
true. They probably saw that and that nobody was gonna play it, and yeah, but they wasted
Tombstone
so
has
much
a
time.
topic here to discuss.
Yeah, Tombstone had one before. I don't know if we covered that. It was kind of off subject, but let's see. I have noticed with Advent. I don't know what that means. The event of 6.2, the player base still has a hard time closing the distance in their engagements. Do you have ideas how they can get people motivated to push the objectives? Well, I mean, there's a lot of things they can do. There's just a lot of regular old fundamentals of the game that are in there that encourage you not to do that. There's assignments out there. There's the bipod mechanic. There's
there's
all
assignments
those
for this.
things. Yeah, all
There's
these things
assignments for the sniper rifles that you have to get headshots while proning. I hate that.
Yeah, you have to do all those things. Those aren't helpful. All right, the TTK changes weren't helpful. You're just gonna get owned no matter what. It didn't matter. It just made the game more annoying for everyone. Really, like everyone was a sponge, and I don't think it would help. I'm sure you would stay alive more longer, but it would make it more stale. Especially when you start engaging.
If you want to push these type of people to the objectives, grab a half track and just push their ass to the objective.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean, Battlefield 4 really started to encourage that, even in Hardline, to play the effing objective, that whole thing. And then when BF5 comes, even BF1 did the same thing, but in BF5, it's like they forgot about that whole thing. It's like a totally different group of people made this game, to where everything is not what they worked on for so many years. Mm-hmm. And that's another issue that they didn't really think about.
And we already have some veteran DICE developers leaving the studios to move on to other projects, and I don't know what. I'm pretty sure they're hiring some new people just to help out with BF5, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to imagine what BF5 would be like in this year or the next year or so.
Next patch we're gonna get is company going to get ammo. Shit. At least they got rid of that ammo attrition. I'm pretty happy where it is now.
I'm glad they added the hardline feature. Like if there's a certain support or medic that's not giving you a med pouch or so or ammo, you can just walk up and just grab it. But that's only if they have the ammo crates on them.
Do you think they should do it even if they have pouches too?
I think so, because many people are asking, like, give me a med pouch or give me ammo. It's like,
I think the UI is still pretty good when it comes to that. It actually still works. Like if you request it, it's pretty easy to see. Especially if you're playing a medic or something, you're running around, you're just looking for that icon to pop up over their head. But some people just don't know how,
Yeah. True, at the same time, there's still people's like, you're asking for the certain medic and you're requesting medic, and then all of a sudden he just runs to the other direction and gets killed immediately. It's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna die here, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Tombstone brought up how big of an impact / setback do you think DICE made when they panicked and fire sailed their original idea content pre-launch over the backlash they had over Battlefield 5's direction? I mean, how many times did we talk about this subject over and over again? There were so many.
I'm not gonna lie, that their marketing for BF5 was so atrocious, especially when one of their, like, say, publishers saying that if you don't like it, don't buy it, and people get on that quickly, and that's why that BF5 kind of sailed miserably in terms of sales.
Absolutely,
and especially they're not really nailing the World War II like feeling that people expected. I understand they want to go for the unknown parts of World War II, but at the same time, people don't seem to like it that much. Like, sure, we get battles like Norway or France or, like North Africa. Sure, those are conflicts that we know about. Not Norway, of course, but people are expecting to have battles like D-Day, Battle of the Bulge in Belgium, and the Eastern Front battles as well, Battle of Kursk, especially the War in the Pacific. The War in the Pacific is also a unexplored setting for video games. Call of Duty World War touch on that aspect, and along with Battlefield 1943. And I'd say if they focus on the war in the Pacific as the unknown battles of World War II, they definitely hit well with that, like they did with Chapter 5 for the war in the Pacific.
That's what sold, didn't it?
Yep. Like if they just done the Pacific, because that was the not many known parts of World War II we known in video games, they could have nailed that for BF5. But instead, they just focus. They focus on unknown battles in Norway, France, Rotterdam, of course, because they're kind of steering a bit on historical accuracy. But this is a video game, so not everything is accurate. So
exactly. But no, I mean they're banking on Pacific, and they're probably their numbers show is like, oh, we got to keep that playlist on there for the rest of the chapter because that's the only thing that's making us money. And it's like, do they not just notice what they just did? Like they could have done this a year ago or a year and a half ago when they released the game. Like you could have just started with all this content straight up, but again, they just they couldn't see that for some reason. Like this is what people want. They want shit like this for Iwo Jima. Like that was nuts. That was crazy. We never seen anything like that, especially in this newer engine. We never seen World War II like that before. We kind of got a taste of it in BF1 for a couple maps, like storming the beach, and then again
on Cape Helles. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, and then again, a lot of people just don't think that's a good way to, as a game mode or as a part of a game mode, is to storm beaches. We all some people like it, and some people don't.
We all saw Iwo Jima on Breakthrough. You know how that plays out.
Yeah, it's sometimes. I mean, my first game was truly epic. Storming the beaches was fun. There's a lot of cover on the beach. And then working all your way up through caves and shit, all the way up to the mountain was pretty special. I'll admit that for sure. But it's just that was pretty much it. Like conquests on that map is probably the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm really not sure how they would balance out a D-Day map on Normandy for conquest.
I wouldn't know.
How's that gonna work out? I mean, if you want to play conquest on D-Day, you can't just like have a flag point on the beach. That'll be that has to be the spawn point for the American forces. So
it would have to be after the invasion.
They had to put more inland for D-Day on Omaha Beach or so.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So if you want a D-Day feeling, you have to play down Breakthrough. But the only thing that worries me if they do a D-Day Breakthrough, if they would bring that map into BF5, I have to worry about the planes coming in over. Because because as the American forces, you don't have anything to combat the planes in the sky. That's the main problem in Iwo Jima as well. Like, sure, you got AA guns on the deployment ships, but the planes are not going to go all the way there just to get shot at. And the Fliegerfaust is useless.
Man, did you like the original Fliegerfaust?
I like the original. It definitely, sure, I know some people that flies planes, but at the same time, you have to admit, some of the planes on, like, Iwo Jima, the Japanese Zeros with napalm bombs, are seriously annoying, and you get instantly killed by them, and getting instantly killed by those bombs at the same time. It's honestly, we needed a gadget like that, but now people complain about it, and they just DICE decided to nerf that Fliegerfaust to a complete piece of crap.
And then the planes run supreme. Like, I mean, you have to admit the Fliegerfaust was a little crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
it is crazy. It's crazy in terms of damage, especially against bombers in the European maps. But
it would have got better over time because less and less people would start using it. You know, it's just crazy because everyone was using it because it was an insane gadget that people wanted to use straight up. But over time, more people would use different things. They would go after tanks instead of aircraft. And then less people will be using the Fliegerfaust. And you just need good counters, really.
yeah,
This game doesn't have good counters. Plain and simple.
yeah, it's like even though planes are such a pain in the ass to deal with, especially as an infantryman on the ground, and it sucks. But so we kind of wish there was ways to up the AA guns on the game to take them out.
AAs, yeah, they've changed those a lot.
Yeah, there are no pom poms from Battlefield 1 that can easily take out paper planes like in that game. But in Battlefield 5, they're more metal compared to paper, so it's kind of more harder to deal with.
Yeah. There's you heard about that night vision scoped M2?
The M3 carbine with the night vision scope. I don't know about that.
Because they literally cannot put that in the game because there's no
What's
counter. There's no counter.
what's the point of that if we don't have any night maps? Night map was the one at Panzer Storm on Airborne.
Yeah, there's no night maps. Yeah, exactly.
And if you put a scope like that in BF5, I don't think there's not much use of it, to be honest. I think if you're gonna put an attachment like that, you got to put on all the guns, but at the same time, it's not useful because all the maps are in daytime or dusk or so.
Yeah, it would probably be something similar to how it works in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, where everyone's using thermals and stuff in the daytime. You just need a counter because Call of Duty has counters when it comes to that, and that's the pretty much the loadout system that they got. And perks.
They would do. I would say flares would be like compat them too for the night vision, but
yeah, I don't think it would be enough.
I don't think it'll work. Yeah.
No, they're probably gonna scrap it for sure.
Devastation. Well, Devastation is still a day map. It was like around like the afternoon or something. It's still not gonna work. So
Devastation, nah. It'll be very weird. And it's probably not what we expect.
It may look like it's going to a darker setting, but it's not really.
Yeah,
it's just nothing.
So what do you think about now? Just change the subject here. I was talking with EK about crossplay and what Modern Warfare has done with crossplay. Do you still think Battlefield needs crossplay? And like, do you agree with what he said about that on the previous episode?
Yeah, his take on crossplay is, I would say, it would definitely work. Turns to like in Battlefield, like the server browser, and for the next Battlefield, those servers have to show what sort of players you'll be going up against. What it's like a mixed server, you're going up against Xbox, PS4, or PC players, or all of them in a mixed server, or you want to be in a server with like Xbox and PS4 players. So you have to filter that out, But if you want to go on a server just based on your platform, like PC only, like or Xbox only, well, honestly, they should just like Xbox and PS4 only because that's gonna work more.
So if you bring up the server browser, let's just stay on that because how would that look? Would there because everything should be accessible, Because Call of Duty right now, you just get put into a random lobby
in a quick match,
and
a skill-based matchmaking.
We can't have that in Battlefield, right?
Well, you're surprised.
Shouldn't.
You'd be surprised that they actually have that in Battlefield Bad Company multiplayer. They have ranked match and an unranked match, so it's something like that. I was playing Bad Company 1 yesterday in the multiplayer, and you'd be surprised how many players are very skilled in those when you matchmaking them.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize it. But how would it look in Battlefield 6? Do you think there'll be like a simple filter button, or maybe it is adaptive to, like, if you're on console, you will only see when you hit server browser, you only see mixed automatically. And when you're on PC, you would only see the PC ones.
Yeah, they gotta have filters for in the server browser. Like, what sort of servers are you interested in joining in? Like, do you want to play in the Xbox and PS4 server, or do you want to play a mixed server comprised of Xbox, PS4, and PC players, or you just want to like play with your preferred console of choice, like Xbox only or so? But
so there'll be like two big options, perhaps.
yeah, two big options like Xbox and PS4. I'd say that will work well. It brings more players into Battlefield and playing together across platforms.
Ah, so you would do it in like the settings first. Like when you're booting up the game first, it would say, do you want crossplay on or off? Basically.
Yeah.
And if you want on, it'll show you all the servers. And if you want off, it only shows you.
And also a filter, like what sort of like platforms do you want to play against? Like, you want to play against Xbox and PC players, or do you want to play like PS4
mix it up
and
a little
PC
bit?
players?
I like that.
Like that.
I like
that. Modern Warfare doesn't have that. If you turn on crossplay, you're bound to play against a certain amount of players from PC and PS4 and Xbox as well. But you don't have a filter of who you want to play against. So
that's interesting.
And speaking of which, like Betch pointed out over here, it's like if they're gonna do a crossplay with PC, PS4, and Xbox, they gotta have an anti-cheat system too. Because I know how you guys are really complaining about the hacker situation on PC and BF5.
It's terrible, Marteezy.
Like if we're gonna have like PC crossplay with consoles, we need an anti-cheat system to combat those hackers too. Because we don't like them any more than you do.
Yeah. And then it needs to be aggressive too. It needs to work. Like, people need to see that it's doing something. Like when someone's like blatantly aimbotting the whole thing, like within 5 minutes or even a couple minutes, it should pick it up and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like pretty much. But maybe that's something they technically can't do right now.
I mean, they
because
could
like
do
legal reasons and
ban.
stuff. Yeah, they can do hardware ban. They can do. I think they should just temporarily kick people and then do the review process later. But it'll just kick somebody from the server that's doing that, and it'll review whatever the investigation has, and then I would consider hardware ban, IP ban. Do all of that just to make
they gotta have a system like that for the next Battlefield. We're gonna have crossplay in the next title because Anders put this a lot in the discussion in terms of hackers, especially when he's dealing a lot of stream snipers too.
Yeah, and that's even worse.
So DICE definitely needs to have a better cheat system. Otherwise, if we're going to crossplay and you don't have a working anti-cheat system, many us console players are not going to play in mixed servers against hackers. You know,
we're going to be
sticking with the Xbox and PS4 servers only.
Yeah, and that will solve literally nothing, right?
Yep.
That'll solve the whole crossplay, is to keep the player population and the servers alive. And if you can't do that, what's the point, right?
Yeah, and all you PC players, like I may be playing on console, I still feel bad for you guys have to deal with many hackers. And we may take it easy on console, but at the same time I feel for myself, I kind of feel bad you guys have to deal with that all the time.
Yeah, even when streaming and people are harassing you and following you everywhere you go, it's and the ones that are really bad are the ones that actually cheat and do that. Is very, very unfortunate.
Especially for Enders. Like I watch him stream like sometime, but I can tell that he's definitely getting fed up being followed by a bunch of hackers and stream snipers.
Oh, so, many, not just Enders. I mean, think of
not just him.
Everyone, almost everyone I've known has come in contact with these terrible people. But dude, I've been
even you too.
Yeah, even me too. Yeah, that was quite a while. Like I was like close to like 4 months or almost 5 months of that. It was pretty terrible. I almost stopped streaming because of it. It was that bad.
I know Tombstone pointed out about Cronus and Zims on console.
Yeah, and, those are a little. Hopefully, the new hardware will find that and pretty much just ban it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember EK saying that using a mouse and keyboard on console is not considered cheating because it's part of the hardware for console, especially for Xbox One and PS4. But
not third party. Forget
not
third party. It
though.
needs to be official. It needs to be official.
And if the game doesn't support MNK and they still people use like Cronus and Zim, like you know,
all those emulators.
I remember Necro. I played with him like during the early days of BF5, and he uses a Zim in order to play mouse and keyboard on console for both Xbox One and PS4. And he had a good reason for it because his hand was injured during the time, and he can't use a controller, so he feels more comfortable using an MNK at that time. So I understand his reason for using a Cronus or Zim on console.
Right. Well, that's the only option. But if there was an actual first-party option for like the new PS5 or Xbox Series X, that I'm highly considering getting that just to get rid of or get away from cheaters, essentially. Yeah. I was thinking about, oh my god, PC Master Race over here, and I'm like considering getting a console. Like, it's fucked up how bad these anti-cheats are around these games. These AAA titles have shit for anti-cheat, and it's just it's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
Xbox Pogger. What's up, Guitar Solo? How's it going, man?
I mean, come on over, Julian. We have a lot of room on Xbox.
Hey, only if I can have first-party official mouse and keyboard support.
Well, Xbox and PS4 has it. So, like Steve's here said, the PS4 allows keyboard and mouse.
But no, what about the PS5? I'm talking about the new stuff.
Yeah, it does too, but only if that developer like allows mouse and keyboard.
Only if the developer. Games. And there you go. If BF6 does it, I'll consider it. All right. And if BF6 is a good game, of course, I'll probably be buying BF6 unless it's like a VR or mobile game. I definitely will not be buying it. That would be really funny.
I haven't seen one. I haven't seen them do a mobile game since Bad Company 2. They did one for iOS back on the iPhone.
Dude, look at the new Medal of Honor game. VR game. Look out. Battlefield 6 VR. I'm telling you, man. It'd be an actual disaster.
It's kind of good they brought back Medal of Honor, even though it's a VR game. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe they can bring back Medal of Honor. Respawn Entertainment seemed like the likely developer to bring that franchise back, you know? Because most of the developers worked on Medal of Honor back then, and they went off to Infinity War, but then they got fired. They made Respawn Entertainment, which we got Titanfall series, and then if EA allows Respawn Entertainment to make the Medal of Honor series again, then maybe we can see that series again, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't like the news Medal of Honor. What was that one called?
Above and Beyond.
No. Before. The one before it.
Warfighter.
Medal of Honor Warfighter. Yes, the one with the well, most of it was, you know, modern warfare and like the desert or something.
Well, it's Medal of Honor Warfighter comprised of many locations. The first Medal of Honor, which is 2010's version, is comprised in Afghanistan. So yeah.
That was some man, I didn't really enjoy that game, to be honest.
I didn't enjoy it either, but I did enjoy the single player for what it's worth, you know.
True. I forgot about the single player.
I mean, Medal of Honor is best known for their single player campaigns. But the multiplayer, I get what they're trying to get at, but they're kind of trying too hard to become like Call of Duty back then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got that vibe real quick. There was kill streaks in that, right? In Warfighter?
Yep.
God damn it.
They're trying too hard. I mean, I like their gunsmith, though. That was a good feature in Medal of Honor Warfighter, but at the same time, they are trying too hard to become like Call of Duty, and that's what kind of makes it fail. And especially EA rushing Medal of Honor Warfighter like every year, like they did with. It came after a year from Battlefield 3 during that time, and
Yeah.
they kind of rush it too much, and Medal of Honor Warfighter didn't exceed their expectations, so they're on hold now.
People are getting sick of this live service and false promises and delays. Dude, like when people are saying, "Oh man, I'd rather have premium," dude, that's coming into the subject a lot. I like your idea and Fireborn's idea. I think they need to have that in a roadmap.
Yeah.
They'd have to, dude, because it's just not making money, right? It's obvious they're not making money off of this, so they have to change, right?
I mean, if they can try to change it while BF5 is still around until because we're not getting a new Battlefield game until like 2021 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can try to showing it in BF5, then maybe there's some promise in the next game. But if not, then you might expect the same thing. We probably just have to wait till the next game what they're gonna show.
Disgusting. They better not. I don't think I'll go for it, dude. Like, how can we trust them?
I mean, look at Infinity Ward and Activision. Look how they done with Warzone. Everything they're taking a risk, seems to be doing well.
Well, that's what we try to tell them for Battlefield 5, but they simply did not listen.
Yeah. Tombstone got this topic here.
Should they bring back Medal of Honor? No. Or a new IP? Maybe. Maybe it's time to like. They got Anthem, dude. EA's got that own IP, and they're trying to bring that back to life for some reason.
I don't know about IP because they're not. I know they're not making a new Battlefront 3 for Star Wars, so they're not.
They don't have the licenses for that.
I mean, they still have somewhat of a license, but yeah, it's But bringing back Medal of Honor, honestly, there's more focus on making that VR title of Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. I mean, sure, it might work well in the VR like genre, but I don't know how it would feel. Like, what sort of Medal of Honor are we gonna get? Like, I'm pretty sure people are kind of tired of historical shooters like World War II, for example. And would they do modern again? Maybe Medal of Honor can touch that again, but we've all seen what happened to 2010's Medal of Honor and Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Oof.
And yeah, it's
they have to change, Marteezy. Like, they can't keep it the same like this. Let's see what Anthem does for their revival. If call Anthem 2 or whatever. I don't know what they're going to
If Anthem pulls off a Star Wars Battlefront 2 Redemption, that'll be cool to see, but I don't know. That game didn't seem interesting to me. It's like
the story looked okay. Like the war before it, that looked really cool. But they never went into it. They just showed you.
BioWare is best known for their storytelling. I mean, I think they made the Mass Effect series.
Yeah,
Andromeda is kind of a mess, to be honest.
Oof.
I played that game. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, big keck W.
Like, yeesh. Like, yeah. I mean, I would love to see a new Medal of Honor game for next generation of consoles like Xbox Series X and PS5. But as like I said, I don't know what sort of setting they would go for. It's like it's either modern or do a Cold War setting or the Korean War. I don't know. There's a lot of stories in the historical settings back in the 20th century. They could go for it. I mean, a Vietnam setting wouldn't be a bad thing, and even like say the Korean War, Flakfire touched that.
Yeah, you like that idea.
Like the Korean War, this should be a end game DLC for Battlefield 5 because that's how it ended.
That'll be super interesting. But dude, a year, like that's not a whole lot of time to actually start developing all that. If they were, they would be developing it before Chapter 5 release, I would think. If they were, still working on DLC or post content for the live service, chapter 7 and 8 and 9, if that's what they're working with. Dude, they must have had that like done, or at least discussed back in the day. I don't know what the hell they're gonna. Yeah, I don't think they have time.
Yeah,
guys.
especially with the pandemic, the coronavirus, it's definitely gonna happen. That. So
exactly.
I don't know what's the theme for chapter 7 this time. I'm sure we're done with the Pacific at this point, but for chapter 7, it might be good just to go back to the European theater of war.
Yeah,
with the Americans, I guess. Like, maybe
you can
touch some of the battles there.
You can see some of that from the data mines. You can see some of the US themed skins.
The P-51 Mustang.
The P-51, yep. There's even some old looking boats from like for the Pacific. They're even thinking about that as well. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but if maybe take a break from the Pacific for now and focus on the American involvement, the Western Front on the European theater, for a change, because I'm not sure about. Like I said, we discussed D-Day earlier, but like I said, how's that going to work out for Conquest, but likely going to do well for Breakthrough,
Yeah, exactly. There's just there's no hope on the horizon for Chapter 7. We have no idea when it's coming. We have no idea what it's going to be in. Or the
Russians,
that's what we would, if they're keeping on track on like history stuff, then yeah, they would go for the Russian stuff next. That would be in chapter 7. I thought chapter 6 was going to be it, but chapter 6 ended up being
I don't think they have the time and resources.
Yeah, I don't think they probably had the time to. I was hoping for that. Coming from like a AAA company, I was thinking, but the more and more the problems start piling on, I was like, dude, this game is
I mean, if we're going to get the Russians, I think they might have to do that at the end of the year, like we did for the war in the Pacific with the American Japanese forces. Like, that's a lot of work to bring in the Russians. I mean, we had the German faction ready to go, but for the Russians, that's going to take a lot of time and effort getting their tanks, their planes, their guns, like all balanced out and everything. That's going to take a lot of time and effort just to make the Eastern Front alive in the Battlefield 5. And I'd say that's going to take them at least until like the end of the year to bring them in.
Exactly. I think they're going to have to go straight to D-Day and, the European invasion. Yeah,
I mean, we have the American forces, so why not just add them to the Western Front?
Yeah, all they got to do at this point for assets is just bring in what I just said.
Like, I want to see a Sherman going up against a Panzer IV or a Tiger.
Yeah, all they gotta do is do that. Just start making maps. But I mean, there's so many problems with the game right now. Maybe it's not a good idea to make maps. So,
of course, it would be weird to see a F4U Corsair in the Western Front. But honestly, would anyone care about historical accuracy at all? But
at this point, I don't think anyone cares.
Like, honestly, we just want more content for BF5.
You know what's bothering the shit out of me, Marteezy? Every time I go on Reddit, dude, there's these characters on there like, I don't want Misaki being in my theater of war. Like, every time I keep seeing that, I don't want these. I want elite skins that are locked. I'm like, just stop. Like, there's more problems out there.
Look, I couldn't care less about elites being like what a German earns from like German elite in the Japanese forces. Like, okay, like I don't care. It's like I don't really notice it that much.
Keep giving me authentic skins, please. Hey, Dice, can you make this authentic skin? Like, dude, I mean, if they had it, they would have done it. Okay, that was not part of the plan, and that's the least of our worries right now.
I mean, there's already games out right now like Hell Let Loose, Postscriptum. Those are World War II realistic shooters, but BFI is more of an arcadic shooters compared to a realistic shooter.
All those people need to do, you need to show them the announcement trailer. It's like, here, this is what Battlefield had in mind at first. Look, the first thing you see is a tank customization with a horse and teddy bear on a tank, and these women soldiers with freaking sniper rifles and hooks as hands, like. And
prosthetic hand.
you want to make your own bat company? Well, you can. So that was the whole thing. But I asked Flackfire this, was like, do you think you can actually make your own bat company? He said kinda. But I mean, imagine if we still had all those goofy things. Like maybe there would be way more. Where are those goofy things anyway?
I don't know, but they're
hidden in some file somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's like they're not going all out, especially when this is a video game in a World War II setting. And we've got to have some form of fun, regardless of the historical setting. Like, sure, we got Christmas skins, but they're just there, just so you can make fun of people. Like, hey, I'm wearing a Christmas skin. Like, I see Steve wearing it. He's just wearing it so he can like tell people I'm wearing this regardless of historical accuracy.
It's such a ridiculous world we're in.
And it's like stop judging me. I'm just saying, Steve. Like, I don't mind you. I don't really care. Like, whatever you wear for your company, it's fine by me. All right. Like, this is a video game overall. It's all about having a great time,
Like my Christmas.
And,
oh my
God. All these like skins like makes me think they should just have more fun, like in terms of regardless of the historical setting.
They got some wacky stuff already. Those gadgets that we've seen. You got the back blast from the bazooka.
Look back on Battlefield 1942 Secret Weapons of World War II. Look what that expansion had. A jetpack, a jet fighter, and we already had a V2 rocket, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. They just don't know their history, man. Like, I don't know. Something terrible happened over there, and there's not enough development time. They release an unfinished game, and then everything changed right after that. Right after release, everything changes. Like, different plan. We're going this way. Hey, guys. We're having a meeting. We're changing the TTK, and everyone's like, "What?" And it was like a year later. Hey, we're doing it again. Come on, let's go. Like, what? No, stop.
Whoever made the decision to change the TTK again, I'm sorry, but no offense, but you're an idiot.
Straight up.
Come on. Please don't mess with the TTK again. Like, I'm fine with the 6.2, but if you mess it again next Christmas, I'm gonna put my foot down and just uninstall BF5.
You know what? Let's make a deal, Marteezy. Let's fucking do it, man. If I'm even still playing this game by this December.
By December.
You think I will still be playing this game by December?
I don't know if this game is still alive with content or something. They're not bringing anything new for Chapter 6 besides the obvious tier skips and everything.
No. Yes. I gotta know. Yes.
People got onto this game when Grind was out last week, and everyone was having fun. And all of a sudden, we're having maps with tanks again. It's like, oh great. Well, I'm gonna uninstall BF5. I'll see you when Grind or Fortress comes back or something, or Outpost. Like, I looked this on Twitter. Grind is what brings the content. That's what you said too, and. Yeah. I would say people like Grind because you don't have to deal with tanks or planes. We just have to go infantry only. You want some,
dude? It's only because of what lockers. Battlefield 3, Underground. What was that? What was called? Right? I forget what it was called.
Operation Metro Underground.
Metro. Yeah. For BF3, and then they redid it again. I think it was Metro. Later on, I think it was called
Underground and BF5.
No. And BF4, what was it called?
It was Metro again. So yeah, it's like they brought back Metro and lockers as well.
Yeah. Lockers. Yeah. So those were the grind. That was the grind back then.
Yeah, everyone liked that back then.
Everyone liked that because it was easy to farm. It was easy to farm. Yeah, you don't have to worry about tanks.
Plus, yeah, these choke points are during the in a conquest rounds. Like, it's not just lockers. Is not just like 3 flag points. You got 5. You got 5 flag points to try to control. While
Yeah.
Metro consists of 3, which we also get in underground. And
Do you like? Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
It's like lockers has more in terms of like getting around the map more compared to just being on one choke point. Some at times, I guess. Like you have the outside part, while you have the inside part. You also have the underground just to try to flank for each team. And I think that's something missing for underground, but I don't know. Underground is still a fun map regardless.
Yeah, I love the conquest version of it, but my god, I hate the grind version of it. Number one,
I mean, you can't flank.
Number one, you can't flank because it's flooded and you run like you're in fucking molasses. It's flooded for way too long. Point number 2. Number 3, they close off some of the best flanking areas. Now now there's only 3 lanes, right? Which one of the lanes has a little like L-shaped point to another lane.
Barracks. Like the barracks is open.
It's half a lane. So it's like 2.5 lanes. And the ones in the middle are completely opened. On the other end has a shit ton of cover. So it always ends the same. They're going to have the 2 maps, or the Germans are going to have the 2 maps, right? And the other side is going to have the 1 flag in the back that no one will ever get to. Even if you push to the tunnels, they still have the high ground and the MMG spam, and they got the light, right? Because they can't see. They can see you, but you can't see them, kind of thing going on there with the whole bloom effect. And shit, if you get outcapped going the other way, your team is just not there. Press tab, they're not there. Okay, they should just open up. I mean, get rid of the flooded part, maybe, or just at least lessen it like to like a few minutes, not like 20 minutes, you know. And open up the left side of the park. I think it'll be an excellent grind map, you know?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah. I also want to mention, if RSP was really working in this game, I wouldn't see that much M&Gs and AT rifles at all. Like you would still see the occasional prony, but not the M&Gs or AT rifles. Yeah, you just see a bunch of pronies.
Dude, talking about RSP, do you want that in Battlefield 6?
Well, I'm pretty sure it is needed if you want to have some community events. Like, you know, I know OMG and a couple others don't want to host events without having to go into a public server to host that event. I'm sure that if they bring RSP to the next game, they have to bring it, because I know communities like overly mediocre gamers will like to create a server to host it, make an event, like say a melee only event, or a pistol only event. You know, they have to have that. And I know many communities on Twitter wants that for the next game, because this one, all of them, like a lot of them want that. And the fact we don't have that in BF5 makes me think they don't care about it. Like, this RSP is complete shite.
It is. There still has been there's no update to RSP since they launched.
You can't even see the community games. Like, sure, there's a filter you can like show community games, but you only see the player's name and that's it. Well, like, what's the name?
There's no title.
You can't put the title of the server that you want to play in, or any restrictions based on what weapons you want to take out. And there's nothing like that right now.
I definitely want them to focus. So if we have like a whole year and a half of this Battlefield 5 game, focus on RSP, right? And maybe if you don't want to make any more maps or don't have enough money to make more maps, fix the ones you got now to make them better, right? Change up the shit ones we don't like. Panzerstorm. I don't know. Add like few hundred buildings or something. I don't know.
Or trenches or something, like, you know, make it like a World War I map of trenches. Right. Like, look, that's a huge ass open field. You expect me to run all the way that?
How about just cut that in half? Like, how about do something like that?
Make it smaller like that, yeah.
Yeah, make it for Hamada, or just keep working with your vanilla maps or just a whole map pool. In that sense. So focus on RSP and work on making the game the way you wanted it to be at launch. All right, because right now it's too late to do anything else.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But
what Aircraft's a topic here. It's like
go ahead and read that one here.
Has Battlefield strayed away from its core values of vehicular combat? It seems like lots of well-known community players dislike planes and tanks. It bothers me a little that everyone complains about vehicles when they are what makes Battlefield different from Call of Duty. I mean, true, but the thing is, in BF5, tanks are complete OP in terms of their tank shells splash damage. They can one-shot infantry at any range. So and aircraft like with the Japanese Zero and Corsair planes with their napalm bombs, it makes it really hard.
The broken
rockets too. There's a reason why well-known community players would dislike planes and tanks. Even myself, I hate getting one-shotted by a tank, like in one shot over like 1,000 meters or so. Especially in Breakthrough, when some tanker thinks it's a good idea to sit at the back of the map just to snipe people that way, and I really hate that. Like, I got shot by this guy from that far away, and I would, only wish I want them to do with the tanks in terms of their splash damage for their tank shells is reduce it, or just like based on certain ranges, you can't one shot a infantryman like a one shot, like let's say 1,000 or more meters.
Yeah, like, I watched a video recently. I think it was Westy pointing out some information another YouTuber brought up about the secret changes they had in the new patch. They actually increased that splash radius on some of the different vehicles, but I mean that's an issue in itself. But going back to what iFly is saying, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, it's quite obvious that DICE doesn't want to lose their vehicular features.
They're all out warfare, like it's not just infantry that
they'll never get rid of, and I don't think they should ever get rid of tanks and planes. Hell, they should have more boats, to be honest.
Battlefield anymore.
Yeah, if they get rid of that, then it's kind of like an infantry Battlefield game, which I remember talking about a long time ago that some people wouldn't mind like having as an option, but you got to keep the Battlefield family together, dude. Sometimes it is fun to be in tanks and planes, but dude, to be honest, I just don't like how tanks are in Battlefield 5.
Yeah,
I think they're really slow. I can barely see anything or hear anything, and sometimes when I'm like stand still and like pretty much camping, I can murder people like nobody's business, and I'm not even good at a tank. Like, imagine a good player at a tank. Like, there's not enough counter out there, and thank God we got the bazooka that has, more than 2 rockets. Like,
you got 6 rockets.
Yeah, you got 6 rockets
chamber,
now. Yeah, and I think the Panzer should have up to 4 maybe or something. I don't know, but we just need better balance. And they're just. Dude, during 5.2, it was a nightmare for infantry.
And it still is in 6.2.
It still is kind of in 6.2. I mean, now we got the bazooka and everything. I don't know. I don't see as much. But then again, that's weird because there's not that many players anymore. Yeah, that could be another thing too. There's a lot more new players too.
Plus, going against tanks as an infantryman, especially by yourself as an assault player or so, or a support. I mean, support only gets the lunge mine and the AT grenade pistol, but assault has more explosives compared to that class. One on tank, like say a Tiger like a Tiger tank, the armor's so thick, but there's some things that when you shoot a Panzerfaust or a rocket towards the tank, it's sometimes ricochet or glancing blow that. And sometimes a lungeman doesn't do the job right, because I one time, this was during 5.2, I don't know if it still occurs in 6.2, I charged with a lunge mine at the back of a Tiger tank. I did 0 damage when I hit it.
Yeah, they fixed that, Marteezy. It works really well now. It does.
thank God, because God, Lunch Mine is so fun, but at the same time, it sucks when you had to go up against so many tanks on certain maps.
I wished it worked, dude. I wished it worked when it got released. Even got delayed to get released, and then it was still broken.
It was supposed to be, the Lunch Mine was supposed to come out in Chapter 5, but it came out in Chapter 6 instead.
Yeah, and it got delayed. And when it came out, still got the 5 damage, just 4 damage, 0 damage. And then every once in a while I'll get the miraculous 50 damage. But by the time I got back up, I would be dead. You know? So
yeah. Like I like the addition of it. Like Lunch Mine, especially when you use it on grinds, like on certain maps underground, you're bound to get some multi-kills with that if you want to. Like, screw it, I'm just going to YOLO it and just straight into the fire and just blow shit up and taking everyone with me. So I really like that. The Lunch Mine is not a bad gadget. It's a good one. And a really fun one, too.
Yeah. Here's another thing, going back to iFly's topic. The player base, which has gotten very low because of DICE's mishandling of this game, the player base is so low, you gain a reputation, especially if you are a daily player. I'm sure you have, Marteezy. People recognize your name and they're like, oh shit, here comes a hacker again. Or you know, even with my little group of Jangu Nation guys running around, and they're like, oh, here goes, or here's the Toxic Boys, or oh my god, Enders is here. Like, they'll fucking leave pretty much, and they're like, oh, we don't want to go up against a stack. And when I see iFly and all them boys, I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, yeah, here comes iFly. I'm like, dude, not even gonna try that. You know, you can go kill the little mutant creatures that just bought the game, but I'm not gonna be playing against like someone like iFly Aircraft, you know, or his cohorts. Dude, that shit's toxic. I can't stand it, dude. I get bombed. I can't even walk 10 meters without getting bombed or mutilated by a back gunner seat that's instant for some reason. But yeah, it's just you gain a reputation, and that makes things even worse. You know, that's what makes people think that vehicles need to be deleted from the game. And it's the player base. It's not you, dude. It's the player base is so low that people are like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. And it's hard to get away. It's hard to get away, especially yeah, you know, we have wearing tags, or you know, just the whole stacking situation is an issue, you know. But
yeah, that and not having a team balancer or anything like that.
Yeah, no team balancer that goes up on top of it.
Especially when you play like at night when you're finishing around, most of the team, like the other team leaves while the team you're on is filling up. So it's like, wow, this is a very balanced team.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a good team balancer. Plus, it's right now on Xbox. I don't know if it happens on PS4. It's hard to join on a friend nowadays. Like,
yeah, that's broken now too. Yeah, even on PC. Yeah, so they got to fix that now.
Yeah, I was like so like getting a little bit irritated that some of my friends can't join me because you get an error or something, or it's not, when you join, it's not really working. You just sit there in the main menu just waiting. It's like, am I joining? It's like nothing.
Yeah, I know there's a Battlefield 5 Trello board. Battlefield 5 Trello board. I think this is it here. So they've updated this Friday. So let's see, like, what are the issues? The issue tracker. So these are the issues, guys, that is going on here for right now. So you go to issue tracker. Apparently the Tiger tank skins have been locked again. That has been fixed. The end around screen not working. Yeah, still being investigated. I still don't get my report. Is sometimes not fetched. Let's see what else. A delay that can happen while spawning in a vehicle can oh, you guys can kind of read that a little bit. No, let me see. Maybe I can move it over. I don't know. Anyway, can I move this over? Let me see. I can switch it over. Hold on. I think this works. Yeah, here. There, can you guys see that? All right, here you go. Is it all broken? I don't even know.
No, you're good. You're good. He just showed the.
Yeah, I did. But anyway, the let's see, server queues sometimes do not work. I usually get it. Do you have any issues with the server queues?
Not really. Most of the servers I join in will 58 to 64s. I don't join on full games, so but if I'm joining on a friend, then yeah, mostly. But there are times when you in a solo queue you join in, all of a sudden you're back in the queue after you load into the map. It happens sometimes.
Right.
So that still occurs most of the time.
The grease gun has a floating suppressor in the customization menu. I mean, is that really an issue? Like, holy shit.
I think that's just a UI issue. I don't think it happens in game, but yeah.
Yeah, players in some rare cases be unable. Where's your English here, community managers? Players may in some rare cases I just read that wrong. Be unable to deploy after bleeding out. That's a big thing.
Yeah, that still
happens
occurs.
to me. Yeah,
that still occurs right now.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. And you can't like fix it, you know. So it's kind of annoying. You have to like exit and then come back in. That's a huge bug,
and it's really annoying. So
it is MarteezyBro. Welcome, all new people here. Welcome to the 23rd Battlefield show. I'm here with MarteezyBro, one of the best players in the world, in my opinion, especially on console. We've been talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. Right now, we're just going over the issue tracker. If you guys like this content, we do this every Saturday night at 8 p.m. If you miss the show live, you can always watch it on my YouTube channel. The link is down below. If you guys
or the
like
VOD
this
here on this channel,
or the VOD here on Twitch. Yes, Twitch VODs. I also have it on there. You'll see them pretty easily because I put on the thumbnails on there, so you guys can see them easily.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys like that content, give the channel a follow. Go follow MarteezyBro. He streams. What's your schedule like, MarteezyBro? Just so we can have that out there.
I usually stream mostly on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday and Fridays. But Thursdays and Fridays are my Battlefield days. Sometimes I don't want to play BF5 every day. Like I'm not Energized Knight or anything. So I know he plays that game every day. I definitely commend him for doing that every day. But for me, if I play too much Battlefield 5, I'm just not gonna have a good time. So I just mark days I play Battlefield is Thursdays and Fridays, as I said, and Mondays and Tuesdays I play something else, like say like Modern Warfare Warzone or something, like any other single player game I feel like playing to stream, you know, so I don't get stressed out on getting killed all the time on BF5 with its bug issues and everything.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, there's some other ones on here. Issues related to joining friends, squads through Social Hub is an issue. That's a huge issue for sure.
Yep.
A bug, so they're looking into that. Hopefully it'll be fixed in the next patch, whenever that will be. Bug related to using vehicles and the lunge mine. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Maybe the lunge mine still isn't working correctly. I'm not sure.
I mean, they had to show a video of that if that really does occur, because they only said text. It looks good on paper, but what does it look like in reality, you know?
Right. And then let's see here. A bug that can cause tanks to move by themselves. Have you noticed that? I've never, because I'm not in vehicles. Like iFly or any of you guys that use tanks or whatnot, do these tanks move on their own, or is that just on console? Looks like they have a workaround available. Tank moves a lot by themselves.
Yeah, I never use tanks that much, but never noticed that. I mean, I know some tankers, but yeah.
Okay, so there is a workaround that they have labeled here. So I guess that's what it was. There were some directions on I think on one of the weekly things. I don't know exactly what the workaround is. It's somewhere on Reddit or on the forums. I'm sure you can ask one of the community managers where to find that. And then Wake Island, invisible part of the roof on the concrete bunkers can stop bullets. I mean, that's not really an issue. Like, what should always be on the issue tracker right now is RSP not being fully fledged, and that we're working on it. That should be on the issue tracker. A team balancer
also.
Netcode issues should just be on there. Should be fucking stickies on there. Anti-cheat, yes, anti-cheat should be on there.
Too.
Oh, hey, we're investigating anti-cheat systems. Maybe make it a little more aggressive. I don't fucking know. Like, it should be something like that. That should be stickied on there. Like, hey, we're working on these things. We got a team balancer. We're thinking about it. I mean, they don't put it on the issue tracker. It's kind of annoying. It just kind of shows how out of touch they are with a lot of things. So hopefully they'll wake up and start fixing this game after this whole pandemic is over and done with. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And so we can start getting this game back on track. Whatever they're doing at home, I hope they can fix as many things as possible, especially like the join on friends thing. Like, you don't need a group setting to fix that. Someone can go to the server room or whatever and fix it. Like, that's one man. You don't have to go to like a goddamn group setting or lunchroom to fix that. You could probably fix that at home as a back-end update or something. I don't know. But those little things, like, forever being in a down state and not being able to redeploy, like, that's something you should be working at home with, But
yeah.
We can only hope for the best, and of course, safety first. And keep yourself healthy.
Just stay home, like, wash your hands frequently,
Yeah, exactly. Just follow like the CDC stuff. But again, it's just a downtime here for Battlefield 5. I'm still going to be doing the show as much as I can, and wherever anybody's available to do it. I'm definitely going to have another one next week. I'll announce it maybe tomorrow if the person... I mean, MarteezyBro knows who it is, but we're not going to say who it is, right?
Yeah, but, that would be called spoilers.
Yeah. So I'll announce it on Twitter, and if I get a response and they're down for next week, and we'll keep doing these until this game is with 0 people in it. And if I'm the only one left here on Twitch, then so be it. You'll see the Battlefield show on this part of the Twitch directory and Battlefield 5 and all that good stuff. What's up, Markiv? How's it going, guys? Again, if you guys enjoy...
just call this the Modern Warfare show if people are playing a lot of Warzone now.
Oh, yeah. I've done that already. When I had who did I have on that one time?
Deltara.
Deltara. Oh, yeah. Deltara was on, and I changed the title here to Warzone show for like a good like 20 minutes or so. It was really funny. But yeah, I could change to that. I just want to stick to Battlefield for now because I'm very interested in what Chapter 7 will be like whenever this whole pandemic is done, and when they're working on it. So when the time is right, I'll pretty much ask that main question: will there be a Chapter 7? And if they can't answer that, or they're throwing a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo at me, should give you a sign that that's not good, right? That's basically like not good at all. If you can't tell me there's a Chapter 7 like around the time Chapter 6 is about to end, there's a problem with the game, and we may not see any more content. And then maybe after that we'll be doing the Warzone show. That could be a thing for sure.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of content for Warzone being still more popular, still getting bigger, so expect a lot more people playing that and more clips of it too.
It's a beta.
It's still in I forgot. It's still in beta.
So it's not even fully released yet, everybody.
But yeah, it still works, right?
Yeah, exactly. Junda.
Yo, Junda. Wadu Junda. What's up?
You play with Junda a lot?
Yeah, sometimes. He mostly plays in Conquest. I'm over more of a breakthrough guy, but sometimes I will
Ah.
play with Junta at times. He's a good player on Battlefield 5, and he plays on Xbox.
Ah, I see. Junta, why don't you play with MarteezyBro more often, man? He's gonna carry you to victory every time, dude.
He doesn't play on breakthrough, to be honest.
You better go play breakthrough with freaking Marteezy.
And he's always stacking too.
He's always stacking? Oh no. Okay, never mind.
I mean, I would play with Junta, but sometimes play with stack players, so it kind of makes for games to be over quick. So I just try to minimize how many players I want to play with. But yeah. Well, what's up, Junta? How'd it go with your stream?
Yeah, welcome, dude. Thank you for bringing your friends here and resubscribing for 8 months, my dude. Thank you so much. All you guys from June to stream, welcome. My name is Julian Janginu. I'm hosting the Battlefield Show, which is a weekly podcast at 8 p.m. Pacific time here on this channel, the only Battlefield talk show on here. And I bring on a new guest every single week. And today's guest was supposed to be my good friend Sheen O'Kara, but he got sick and we had to reschedule. So I brought on MarteezyBro, one of the best players in the world, I think, for console. And you know, if he ever gets a PC, I think he'll do just fine. But just
my
saying.
PC runs like crap on BF5, alright? So
yeah,
I didn't know anything about building a PC or anything.
Don't worry about it, man. The new consoles that are coming out are basically PCs, so you'll be all set. All set. Yeah. I might even come join you too.
I'm still not sure how much it's going to be, but it's not 1,000 or something.
Yeah, well, with the games, it probably could range all the way up to 1,000, and all the peripherals and all the controllers and the eye trackers or whatever the fuck they're gonna add to it.
We'll see what sort of things they have, or so.
Yeah,
500, 600 probably for the next Xbox.
Yeah,
possibly.
And memory additions that they can have, internal and external. I know there's an external slot you can add more memory that way.
Yeah, I saw Seagate on there too. I own a Seagate external hard drive as well for my Xbox One X.
But yeah, if you enjoy the content here, we're about to wrap up the show here. We've been going for about 3 hours now. If you guys enjoyed it, well, thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you for supporting the Battlefield Show. Stiff Johnny P with the 10 gifted subs. My God, dude.
And the Tag Taker gifting everybody some subs.
Thank you, dude. So yeah, if you guys enjoy it, follow the channel. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, if you guys are just coming in with Junda's squad and you guys missed the show, you can go watch it on YouTube shortly thereafter this podcast is ended. Okay, so or on the video section right away. You can view it right away after. Okay, but okay, let's see. Let's go over the last thing, MarteezyBro. Now we're talking about like support in the channels. I have this clip of you looking very somber. Where we actually broke Tizzle, something happened here. So let me play the clip, right? Then we'll discuss this for the final topic of the day or of the night. And we'll say our goodbyes and go raid somebody too, so stick around. Yep. Okay, let's see what happens. Zadira got this one. Let's see.
Oh boy. So okay,
was there audio?
I'm sure there's audio.
There's audio. There's audio.
Yeah, there's audio. And funny thing is, I was in the middle of playing the Bad Company 1 campaign during this.
Shit.
Squeezy and Sadira came in with a whole bunch of gifting subs to everybody during the stream. I didn't expect so much support for that because
that's supposed to happen.
Reason was because I'd never gone to streaming until like 2 years ago when Rhesus and my team at Point Gap asked me like, "Why don't you stream?" And you know, I get really emotional when I got to this point of how far I come when it comes to streaming. You know, it's like I wasn't really into streaming at first. My Twitch account's been around since 2015. My best friend next door told me, why don't you just stream, just show off how you play. And I tried it for a bit, but I didn't like it at first, so I stopped. I stopped during that time. It was during Battlefield 4 too, and
that was very sweet of your community to do that. That's
yeah,
really awesome.
and then like make it like until 2016, like or 2017 when Battlefield 1 was out.
Mm-hmm.
I decided, why not? Okay, let's stream then. Like my team's asking for it. Reese's was asking for it because they want to see me like how I play, especially when
Hell
it
yeah,
comes to
I
sniping.
wanted to see. I wanted to see too.
Yeah, and you know, throughout the time, my mindset when it comes to streaming, I had this when I created this account back in 2015. Like, I'm just here for anyone to watch, and I stuck with that mindset because I don't really care about how many views or anything. I'm just here for anyone to watch if they want to have a good time, get any tips regarding about Battlefield or anything.
Hell yeah, brother.
And yeah, it's like, and then when I started meeting you guys, and like, holy crap. Like, I mean, Squeezy, Big Brother Steve, Johnny, and then you guys and Stream Lounge. It definitely, it's still something I didn't expect to be a part of because I still have this. And when it comes to like social media, I'm very like anxiety. I have social anxiety when it comes to that. I don't tweet much. I just like try to talk as much as I can, but I don't want to. I have a past experience that caused me not to be on social media.
Gotcha.
And it caused me kind of losing some friends along the way. And so and when I got to Twitter again to create my own Twitter account, my first one actually, I had to be careful of what I had to say. Otherwise, I'm going to say the wrong thing. Otherwise, I would be like pissing someone off. And,
yeah, exactly.
Seeing how far I come with the streaming and especially with social media, I'm still being careful and all that stuff. I'm just happy to be where I am, being happy what I do.
Yeah, man.
My family fully supports me on doing this because it makes they see me being happy playing video games while also streaming for people. So yeah,
it's a crazy world we live in right now, man. And now's, I mean, what else are you gonna do now, right? It's not you can go outside and do things.
I can't go out. I mean, as much as I like being inside, I had to go out now and again, but screw the coronavirus and everything. Like, come on, I want to go out and just feel the warm sun and everything, you know?
Oh, you got the backyard, you got your chickens, you got your cocks out there.
Yeah, I got my backyard cocks, right? You know,
you got your backyard.
That's my community and my channel. Like, if you're a follower, you're considered as a backyard cock.
There you go, guys. Well, you better go join that. And Brother Steve posted the Twitters and the Twitch on there if you guys ever want to go hang out with MarteezyBro.
And just so you know, the name Backyard Cock came from Italian Super Beast. He's the one that created that idea.
So, hell yeah, I'm sure he did.
I don't want to take full credit. Italian Super Beast deserves some credit for making that name. And it used to be Bushwookies, but Backyard Cock seems more suitable for my channel in terms of the community there.
Oh yeah, man. The rooster's gonna wake up soon, I'm sure.
Right now, it's sleeping with the chickens.
There you go. It's right there. Oh wait, do I still have those pictures? I think I do, right?
Yeah, you still have them.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Those are his beautiful roosters, and there's some chicken. This is where they live here. We showed this earlier on the stream, and yeah, here's a few of the chicks here, and having a good time outside. Always waking up a MarteezyBro. So there they are. Look at how majestic they are. Oh my god.
Yeah, and the only people that I know from Twitch that came over, Toy You Up and Nick the Grizzly, who came over to see actually in person with these chickens and roosters. So,
that's sick. Well, there you go, guys.
I do have one last clip, Julian. I don't think they have seen a clip of me doing fully sniping, so I sent you this clip just in case. So, you know what I do.
Let's watch it, dude. Let's watch it for sure. There you go. This is MarteezyBro in his habitat.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in full screen here so you guys can see it better. I've been doing this a little more. This should be a little better. You might be covering him. I'm not sure, but anyway, I have a janky setup right now.
I mean, I'm right here anyway. That's my spot over here on the stream.
Not
Is
even joking.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's all good. It's like,
Yep.
see, I do miss,
Yeah,
but
still
you know,
can
I always
mark
try
me
to
out
line
for
up
that
those
one, so
headshots.
I never seen them.
And this is during Underground, the last day on Wednesday.
I mean, you're up there with
Nope,
everybody.
never seen Fight Club. Nope.
Fuzzball.
We were discussing movies during that time.
You haven't seen Fight Club?
No.
Oh man, you better go watch it tonight.
There's a lot of movies I never watched before, so
Well, now
don't
you
worry.
got the time.
Trust me,
Oh,
I
no.
know
These
I got
guys
this
gonna keep
argument
lining up
from
or what?
like
Come on.
Betch here and a couple others like Fuzzball, for example.
Dude, I think you should stay in
I'm
quarantine.
letting
and
them
watch
give me
movies
shit
for
because
you.
I know I haven't seen these
Well,
movies.
it's 3 weeks, so there's that.
Oh man, I
Right.
missed the headshot. You cheater. But yeah, that's cool, dude. Let me bring this back up. Okay, yeah. Give him shit, Julian. Dude, I'm a movie buff, man. I watch tons of movies and TV shows. I'm trying to catch up on all the classics and things like that. So
I mean, I do watch movies. I just mostly watch the war films, like the recent 1917. I
oh
like
yeah,
them.
great movie. One of the recent movies that got shoved onto digital because of the coronavirus was that Invisible Man. Did you hear about that movie, The Invisible Man?
I heard of it, but never seen it.
Yeah, it just came out like in theaters, and then they had to shut it down, and now they put it on digital for everybody. But I recently watched that movie, Invisible Man. Go check it out. It should be on digital. It's a little expensive. It's like $20 for a rental or something because it's still out in theaters. But
If they're putting out in digital, that's really good. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be stuck at their homes and can't go to theaters. So
yeah, you can't.
That's
You
pretty good.
literally can't go to the theaters. Not in my area. You can't.
well, so much for me and my family watching Mulan on the 27th of March. But yeah,
Ooh, yeah, that got pushed back pretty hard there. So yeah.
yep.
That's just the way
So
it's gonna be.
stuck in the house for 3 weeks. Like great.
Well, anyway, guys, I hope you guys are safe out there. And we're gonna get through this whole debacle together. And hopefully Dice will be back in the studio soon and working on some new content for Battlefield 5 or just fixing the damn game, essentially. That's what I hope. I hope they focus on RSP and, listen to cool people like MarteezyBro and everyone else in chat too. We gotta start fixing these issues and get this game back on the road, or it's gonna die soon. Because just look at the viewership here on Twitch. It's getting lower and lower every day. But again,
It's dying.
It's
slowly.
dying because of two things. We got the virus going on right now,
And Warzone.
and we got Warzone, and now we have Doom as well, Doom Eternal, which is a good game too. I
And
gave
Animal
it a lot of
Crossing.
shit.
Okay, I'm not putting that.
And Animal Crossing. So there's no interest in a game that has no new content, right? So yeah, we're on live support indeed. Tombstone, what's up, Vengeance? So I'll be here playing Battlefield tomorrow. MarteezyBro, are you gonna be playing tomorrow? Or are you gonna take a break? Sunday?
Well, I've been playing Battlefield 5 for the past couple of days since Wednesday. And I'm sure I like Rush, but I'm thinking I need to take a break for a while. I'll be back on it on next Thursday.
There you go. So next Thursday, don't forget to follow my boy MarteezyBro. If you guys got the links on there, either Vengeance or whoever, it's who had that? Your big brother Steve had the links on there to his social media. You can go check him out there. All right, guys. But yeah, you're right, Mark. Give the anti-cheat also another thing we need to tack on there. They definitely got to do that.
Yeah, they definitely need to do that a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Lookout. Thank you. Appreciate that. Go ahead and click those links. Go follow this amazing player. You'll learn a lot from him. Just watching some of his videos is pretty damn good. Okay,
Even
guys.
though I'm playing on a controller that looks like I'm playing with an M and K.
There you go. If you guys miss any of this episode, it'll be on that YouTube channel there. Thank you. Look out. And yeah, follow us on all the socials. Again, thank you so much for watching live. Always best to watch live. We'll have another one this Saturday at 8 p.m. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I wish you the best. Keep safe. Wash your goddamn hands. Okay? Stay away from people.
Try not to buy too much toilet paper.
Yeah, don't hoard, you hoarders. Okay, guys. We'll see you next time. Good night. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.